take what's lost and broke and make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house, I see you at a party and you look the same. I could take you back, but people don't ever change. Wish that we could go back in time. I'd be the one you thought you'd find. Love isn't all that it seems. I did you wrong. I'll stay here with you till this dream is gone. I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broke and make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's the only place that I can hold you tight. In this burning house, flames are getting bigger now. In this burning house, I can hold on to you somehow. In this burning house, oh, and I don't want to wake up. In this burning house, and I've been sleepwalking, been wandering all night, trying to take what's lost and broke and make it right. I've been sleepwalking, too close to the fire, but it's
one. You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here is DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Monday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones, Coach Bush's grandson, the thrifter, Thrift Barringer. Good morning. How are you?
Great morning, DJ. Ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely. Richard Holdridge also in the studio this morning. Good morning. How are you?
What is going on, DJ? Glad to be here in the studio with you guys.
It's Wednesday morning, hump day, guys, halfway through the week. And again, once again, we are well ahead of schedule. And again, I want to say congratulations to all of the winners out there, the guys that are putting themselves in a position to compete for a state championship. I know yesterday we had the pleasure of having Coach Greg Mathis on talking about the Brookstone Cougars and their quest to, of course, continue their campaign to winning another state championship. But, Richard, you were also on the scene out at the golf course, and I had an opportunity to check in on some possible champions there.
Absolutely. As the Columbus Blue Devils are your golf state champions. Bull Creek Golf Course, that's where it was at. They were there all day. And they're a sophomore who ended up winning by 9 strokes, Brooks Urquhart, who had just a phenomenal day. Jay Patel finished third, and I was just glad that I was there getting the interviews with Coach Parker and the 2 golfers. So, yeah, congratulations to the Blue Devils.
All right. First and foremost, let's just say congratulations and good morning to everybody out there in Facebook land. We appreciate the fact that you are here with us this morning and the fact that we have the opportunity to help you get your day started. Just this warms our heart to know that we can do that. Also, again, it is the last few days, actually, of school. And for the most part, as we know it, this year is in the books. And I know a lot of folks are excited. Some people don't know quite what they're going to do with themselves for the next couple of months. But I do know that I know the kids want to have some R&R. But at the end of the day, kids want to be busy. What we often try to do here is give you some semblance of what kind of recourse you have with regards to developing your kids. It's great to have downtime, but it's also great. It's a great time for the kids to get better. But also, I want to make sure that we let you know that we know that you could be anywhere else but you guys are here. You chose to be here with us, and we plan to entertain, inform, and educate you on the goings on in the world of sports. And to all of our great friends out there, before I get to them, I want to make sure that all of our Facebook people tell everybody that, share the information. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We do that over and over and over again because you know what? We want it to be ingrained in your mind that we appreciate having the opportunity to have this platform to talk to you every morning and get your day started. So, also, on all of our good friends out there in WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 92.1 land, we love you, but it ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Hello, somebody.
Guys, I think it's time for this party to start. Wednesday already, hump day, halfway through the week, Thrift, and again, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it is, man. And listen, we're almost done out of May. Summer's literally here already, but for students, that starts next week, and it's just been a busy one, but we're glad that we're almost halfway through it.
Absolutely. The talk of the town as we head into the summer is, of course, the University. Carver Tigers. Just put it this way. That's the word on the street. Pierre Coffey, whether as brilliant as he's been, especially this past football season, bringing a state championship title to the Carver Tigers. He has officially stepped down, and he's going to be of course, the principal at Stewart County High School, and that's right down the road. Stuart Quitman. Again, a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are, feeling good. And, some people, but the bottom line is the man is making a decision based on his career, his family. He deserves it. And, again, you got to wish the best for him. I know that, you get a little territorial and you get a little possessive. And you know what? The only obligation that he has, Thrift, is to his family and his career. And he has to be happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, and he accomplished a lot, man. Think about what he's done in the 3 years that he's been there, and to win a state championship like he just did, quarterfinal, semifinal, and a state championship win. Did an excellent job keeping that program sustained success as Carver has, and they'll be fine for whoever comes in to take over.
And those are you, of course, being for selfish reasons. Hell, I'm a Carver Tiger. I love it. I love what he's been able to do. And again, the tradition that has continued over there. But again, at the end of the day, when you talk about a guy who's as accomplished on the field and off the field, this guy is, he's a principal. And again, in that business, that's, I guess, one of the ultimate goals of in higher education is getting that opportunity to call his own shots, to run his own school, K through 12. No, it's not the biggest school, but again, that's another advancement in my mind. And I wish him well, Richard.
Yeah, and if you're a teacher, I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is to get into administration. I mean, that is a career move. So I thank Coach Coffey for everything he has done here at Carver, but he's moving on, and wish him the best of luck. I know that the Carver football program is going to be in good hands because there are some good coaches out there in the waiting that will take this program right where Coach Coffey led it off. And I think that, he's going to do some great things down in Stewart County.
And, I'm glad that we have this opportunity early in the morning, of course, to get Wednesday morning, the day after the fact, is to kind of set the tone, to set the mood, to at least give you a different frame of thought. Because again, like I said, sports fans, we're selfish. We're very, very selfish. We want what we want, how we want it. And again, but in this case, you're talking about somebody getting an opportunity to improve, to get an opportunity to go on to another level, and again, accept another challenge in education. And I think that having an opportunity to go down and with all of that knowledge and all of those accolades, and be able to sprinkle that on to a community of kids that are not as fortunate as those, many of that, as we know here in town. But I'm looking forward to talking to Coach Johnson over at Coach Thomas. I always call him Coach Thomas, who came from Stewart County High School, and he knows a lot more about that community than most. And he's the athletic director and basketball coach over at Pacelli. So looking forward to talking to him sometime real soon, just to give you a different perspective of course, the way the students, the way they love their school, they love their teachers, administrators down there. They're not as fortunate, as I mentioned before, as most of the kids here in around Muskogee County. But I remember meeting Coach Thomas several years back, and he was looking to do some things differently down there, and we brought him in, and we welcomed those kids in that program to be a part of our awards luncheons. And those kids were, the looks on their faces, and the kids from down in that part, they just don't have a whole lot. So being a part of what we had as far as recognizing them and giving them an opportunity to be celebrated meant so much more. And I know that that's the same situation or similar situation that Coach Coffey is going to do now that he is over the entire school, K through 12. And obviously they are still looking for a superintendent in all intents and purposes. Another person that we might know who could very well be at the helm at that game. I'm not at liberty to say who that is, but, again, it looks like, a commitment is being made to of course, Stewart County High School and their community, to those students, those parents down there. So, Coach Coffey, congratulations. And we look forward to talking to you real soon regarding the new step, the new life, and celebrating also what you were able to do here because, winning a state championship, Thrift, is not easy.
Yeah, absolutely not. And what he's able to do and build over at Carver, it was impressive. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know him over the last couple of years and interviewing him and talking to him and following him on his ride. And now he feels like this is his calling to go to Stewart County. And I commend him for it and can't wait to see how he helps grow that entire county and get those kids the resources they need.
So again, I always look for the the silver lining, guys. We're all sad, we're all heartbroken, we're all of that. But again, at the end of the day, we're talking about an advancement in another young man's eyes with regards to what the move that's being made best on behalf of his family. And again, his career. So keep that in mind as you're cussing people out, as you're getting upset, as you're punching walls or whatever it is that you're doing to show your frustration. But more than anything, the posting, be careful with what you post out there, because again, at the end of the day, if it was you, if you put yourself on the other end of the perspective as far as having an opportunity to go to another level, to better your education, or at least not education, but to your lifestyle for your family. And of course, to do some other things in life after, because sports is not the only thing, although many times we feel that it is. And, but again, we just got a great community of sports people, and we want what we want. We're selfish in a lot of ways, and we're loyal to a fault. But in this case, this is a little bit different.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's not the first time. I mean, Corey Black left last year, Pacelli, and that job was a surefire state championship with the talent they have returning. And look what Calvin did, and he did a great job coaching, but they went undefeated this year. He didn't leave the cupboard bare, and that's the same thing for whoever comes in and steps into this Carver job. They're going and stepping into a contender automatically. So we're seeing this more and more. It is not an anomaly to see coaches move or people feel like they have another calling for them in their life, and who are we to judge that and take that away from them?
Absolutely. And again, just to think about it, Richard, automatically when you realize that it is over and done and Coach Coffey has moved on, he's gonna take that position. Now the question is, who is in the running for the Carver job? And boy, I'll tell you what, it's a who's list out there. And again, now you've heard from some of the best, as Thrift like to say, some of the best in the business to some of the most popular in the business. But you can rest assured, as long as Chris Lindsay is at the helm over there and his conglomerate of folks that he leans on and talks to, that job is a job, regardless of what you might think. That is a very, very sought after job. A lot of guys have been calling, but again, also, some former Carver greats are being considered. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure that with football season, football camp in particular, just right around the corner, Coach Lindsay, as well as his close administrative staff, are madly at work trying to get a new leader over there on the Hill.
Also, the athletic director position is open too. So you talk about a very coveted job. Carver just winning a state championship. The resources that Carver has there and the players that they have put in the NFL and the team coming back this year, they got 3 players that are on the top 100 as far as according to rivals.com in the state of Georgia. And they actually, you look at their schedule, it's the same exact schedule as last year. They're just playing everybody on the road. They're hosting Harris County this year. I look at the Carver Tigers and I see them in their region, and they are one of the best teams in Georgia, if not the best. It talks about 2A. I think whoever goes in there is going to be in a great situation because Coach Coffey's leaving them in a good situation, whoever takes that Carver job.
Talk about being in an unfamiliar territory. Obviously, the spring game, the Jamboree that they had just the other day, again, Coffey was a participant and again, very well involved. And I'm sure at that point in time, somebody knew that what was in the hopper as far as the cooker and what's all gone down. However, the fact of the matter is, I feel for these young men, these kids, these athletes, because they love and respect it. The fact that Coach Coffey was, the leader that he is. So, my concerns, if anything, is just making sure that those young men have an understanding of knowing, okay, yes, this coach loved you. He's leaving, of course, to better his life and his family's life. And he would want nothing but the best. But again, Thrift, when we talk about, the candidates for this Carver job, man, I tell you what, we could have fun and we could with that all week long.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of names as well, DJ, and I think this is would be really cool to see if some of them come into fruition. And again, it is a job that if they got to move quickly, because you want to make sure that everyone is happy and staying afoot and can return back to excellence as they were this past season.
When you think about the qualifications and the expectations of the new head coach, man, I tell you, boy, that's a load. That's why whoever it is over that's going to be coming in, first and foremost, you have to trust the people that are going to be the ones that making that decision. And of course, I'm sure it starts, with the school board's office with, of course, David Lewis, Dr. Lewis, as well as Jeff Battles. But more importantly, Chris, Lindsay, the principal there, who has been there for many, many years and has had, just a wonderful run. It was rumored, and it still is, that he is actually going to be nearing retirement real soon. I understand that, a couple of years ago that he definitely was looking forward to stepping down. However, he decided that he was going to stay on. And in this case, how does that factor into his decision of being around? I'm sure that it will, with regards to him wanting to leave it better than when he came. But at the end of the day, you have to respect the fact that Chris Lindsay as well. He's accomplished a lot in his career. He's done a tremendous job up on the hill. And you know what? If he decides to step down, when he decides to step down, whether it's during this process, whether it's after this process, we have to respect his wishes as well.
Yeah, and I wish whatever he does, that it's a tough decision. I mean, it's something that you're passionate about, but these teachers, these coaches, I mean, it is a lot. It's a grind, and you got to do what's best for your family situation. And I know that Carver, no matter what happens, is going to be in a good place because people truly care and they put their time and effort into Carver football, Carver athletics in general. And you talk about like what they're trying to do and try to accomplish. I think that we just got to wish the best of luck and best of interest to anybody, whatever decision they make.
And of course, it's not a funeral, it's a celebration, because obviously this is an opportunity for another coach to come in and, of course, not necessarily rebrand, but of course establish a new culture, because the table is set. The table is set for success. You can tell by, of course, after winning the championship in football, and of course having the success in basketball, and just overall that program. It's going to be ongoing. It's going to be just a matter of just plug and play. And whoever comes in there just got to come in there ready to roll. And of course, they know what the assignment is. So one thing is for sure. Coach Coffey is not going to be the head football coach and athletic director, and the Tigers are moving on. And as we find out more information, we'll be sure we'll be certainly handling, or at least sharing that information with you. All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to hear from one of the other great sports announcers in the city, great personality, Anthony Merritt, the former Shaw great. Have an opportunity to hear from him. We had a great sit down, as well as Jack Johnson, the voice of the Columbus Clingstones. He's on slate to be with us today after, of course, starting a wonderful homestand down at Synovus Park on yesterday.
Yeah, and getting that game winner. What a way to start off the homestand, and hopefully they can continue on, and maybe they can get back to 500 after this week.
All right, let's go ahead and take our first break of the day. You are watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 92.1. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
You a little something about yourself. You're wonderful, flawless. Ooh, you a sexy lady. But you walk around here like you want to be someone else.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning for WRBL News 3. I'm Crystal Whitman. A deadly stabbing in downtown Columbus claimed the life of 60-year-old Michael Alston. Police say he was attacked near 14th and Broadway. They've now arrested 49-year-old Bobby Browder, who investigators believe is homeless. A Lee County man is facing several charges after leading police on a high-speed chase, hitting speeds of up to 120 miles per hour with a woman in the car. It started at a safety checkpoint and ended near exit 66. He's now facing charges that included attempted elude, attempted assault, and reckless endangerment. And 2 people are recovering after a shooting Tuesday night in Phoenix City. It happened near 20th Street and 11th Avenue. Police say their injuries are not life-threatening. Investigators are still working to figure out exactly what led to the gunfire. Reporting for WRBL News 3, I'm Crystal Whitman.
Good Wednesday morning. Watch out for rain and thunderstorms for your morning commute. A few of those storms may be strong to severe with wind and hail, the primary threats. The storms will start to move out by late morning. Then we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds. Highs today will be in the upper 80s. Tonight we'll drop down into the low 60s. And for your Thursday, it'll be beautiful with some sunshine and a few passing clouds. Still staying warm with highs in the upper 80s. Don't forget to stay up to date with your latest forecasts by visiting WRBL.com.
Aflac, helping people for more than 6 decades focus on recovery and not financial stress. Check out their policies at Aflac.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Don't miss your chance to unlock employee pricing across the Ford family of vehicles at Rivertown Ford in Columbus. Ford has been committed to America for over 120 years, and this is our commitment to you. You pay what we pay. Now through June 2nd, take advantage of employee pricing for all on the outstanding performance of new 2024 and 2025 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Choose from hundreds of vehicles in stock now and save on your next Ford lease or purchase, like the Ford F-Series with incredible power and even more possibilities. Drive away today in America's best-selling truck for 48 years and counting. And right now, enjoy employee pricing plus 5.9% APR for 72 months with $3,500 in additional rebates off MSRP on the 2024 Ford F-150 XLT 2.7 liter with eligible trade-in. Want even more? Well-qualified buyers also enjoy no payments for 90 days. Ford Motor Company, from America, for America. Feel the freedom of choice when you shop exclusive employee pricing today at Rivertown Ford in our Columbus showroom or online at rivertownford.com. Exclusions apply. Please see dealer for full details.
Everything is expensive right now. Gas, food, you name it. You're spending more, you are making the same or less money. So what do? You rack up credit card debt. That's what you do. It's not your fault. It's the economy. And guess what? If you rack up too much credit card debt like some of us, you can't pay your bills. Then the credit card companies, as nice as they are, start hounding you for money. Then you start your downward spiral. A smart thing for you to do is to call the Zero Debt. They can help you consolidate all your credit card bills into one affordable payment. Millions of people have done it. It works to make you debt-free. Make this free call right now. It costs you nothing to learn more.
800-628-5675. 800-628-5675. 800-628-5675. That's 800-628-5675.
Knowledge, wisdom, excellence, service are the core values of Morehouse School of Medicine. To learn more, go to msm.edu.
Your home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. It's Hump Day, y'all. Of course, we're halfway through the week. Big shout out to all the folks out there that are working with us this morning. Of course, again, we are just happy to get your day started. Big shout out to, of course, Jalen Milroe and, of course, Shedeur Sanders. They've signed their rookie contracts, so they're all locked, signed, and sealed. These guys have some newfound wealth. I know that it's going to be an awesome opportunity for these young men to get acclimated to their playbooks, to get acclimated to the culture of their new teams. But I think that both of these guys are going to have a hell of a summer ahead of them. Looking forward to following them, and of course, throughout training camp and into the exhibition season.
Yeah, I can't wait either, DJ. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing what's going to happen here coming up in the future.
Also, who would have thunk it? Here is a guy, Mr. Irrelevant, several years back, Richard, and again, he's playing for a team that you know very well. Brock Purdy signed a humongous deal, and man, I tell you talking about Mr. Irrelevant back in 2022 out of Iowa State, was it? Again, we talk about him having opportunity. Who'd have thunk it? I mean, you talk about living right. You talk about performing, again, against the odds. Here's a young man that, was just an afterthought. He got, he just was just invited to, basically was one pick away from just being assigned as a free agent.
Yeah.
But now he is going to take his ring or his place among the top paid quarterbacks in the National Football League. He signed a 5-year deal, $265 million, $181 million guaranteed. And, who would have thought just a few years ago, this guy, again, was an afterthought.
Yeah. $53 million a year, though, for a guy who might be a second tier, maybe a top 15 quarterback. Look, say what you want. He was underpaid the first 3 years, got them to a Super Bowl, but they had to let Dre Greenlaw go. They had to let Talona Hufanga go. They did sign Mykel Williams, the rookie, $24 million. I hope he has a good impact on that line with Nick Bosa, but Kittle's getting older. McCaffrey's hurt. They had to let Deebo Samuel go. Brandon Ayuk's coming off an ACL injury. I understand the 49ers have a very easy schedule. I mean, they're probably a layup for 11, 12 wins, but he's not an elite quarterback. He is not worth the $53 million. I know that Dak Prescott got $60 million. I mean, Colin Cowherd actually compared him to Baker Mayfield, and I kind of agree with Colin. I mean, he's not he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's not even Justin Herbert. I mean, he's in that next tier of quarterbacks. And I think I would have been more satisfied if it's a team-friendly deal. And so they're going to have some room to make some more signings. But I think that he got overpaid.
Well, again, regardless of what we think, and again, sports talk platforms like this one on all over America have their own way of expressing their opinion. The bottom line is Brock Purdy got paid. And again, regardless of whether you like him or not, he's risen to the occasion. I mean, it's an evaluation process. You guys know as well as I do, people are going to pay you only what you're worth. And they're not going to give you, they don't want to give you $1 more, especially in the National Football League. You get with the salary caps and whatnot, you got limitations, and you got to figure out how you want to put your team together, where you put your value. And again, I know most teams that win in this league, they have a good quarterback. And, Purdy, again, against all odds, against a lot of things that he didn't have, he was still able, when you do the numbers, and if you're an analytics kind of guy, the bottom line is, he performed amongst the top rated quarterbacks. And again, here's a guy, the only difference is you just didn't know who the hell he was prior to him performing the last few years.
And also, if you look at his stats, when he has Trent Williams as his left tackle compared to when Trent Williams was out of the lineup, 1-6 against playoff teams last year. They went 6-11, mainly because Christian McCaffrey was hurt. Brandon Ayuk was hurt. I want to see what he does this year. I think he'll have success because they do have an easy schedule. And by the way, Sunday Night Football, 49ers, Falcons. I'm excited. We're in prime time.
All right. I just want to get your opinion on these younger quarterbacks, obviously more, and we're more, familiar with, with the young quarterback that came out of Alabama. Again, he had some highs and he had some lows, but he has an opportunity. And I'm talking Jalen Milroe. I know that he has been lighting it up during the camp. During the mini camps and whatnot. So a lot of people are singing his praises. Even we had the opportunity to talk last week to the boots on the ground in Tuscaloosa, Stephen M. Smith, and he says that people are ranting and raving over the performances of Jalen Rose. But again, you guys know we've seen him at his best and we've seen him at his worst. However, at this point in his career, it is imperative that they have a coach that's going to understand his skill set and going to use it to, no doubt, no question, probably one of the most talented, if not the best thing this side of Lamar Jackson that we've ever seen. And he might be even faster, he's definitely more explosive, more powerful than Lamar Jackson. But again, can he pan out on this level?
I actually think he can. I actually think he actually could win the starting job over Sam Darnold. Jalen Milroe is a playmaker. He's going in the same situation. The offensive coordinator of Seattle last year took the OC job at Alabama. I think kind of the similar situation. I'm rooting for Jalen Milroe. I hope that he's able to win the starting job. And if he doesn't, if it's Sam Darnold the starter, they're going to have some packages in there for him because, he is just an athlete. You need to get a big third down. They're going to put him in there. He's going to get some playing time for the Seahawks.
Yeah, again, and not just when you mentioned the Seahawks, I like the fact that he has that air. It's something in my brain, and I can't tell you what it is, but it just makes me think that he's going to have a hell of an opportunity out there. And I think that the history of quarterbacks, when you think about Russell Wilson, you think about Geno Smith, and those guys aren't nearly the talent that he is. But again, I just feel that some great things are going to be for Milroe and with the Seahawks.
I do too. I think if they put him in the right position and they do like they did with Jalen Hurts, he'll be able to be successful. I don't know if he'll start over Darnold this year. I think Darnold will be the starter, and they give him at least a year. But heck, if he proves us wrong, then he's a lot better than what we thought, and that they put him out there like that. We'll see what happens. If apparently up to Rich, he wants Jalen Milroe over Brock Purdy, because you're saying you overpaid Big Brock, but that's the world we live in, especially when it comes to quarterback. That position is, and its value is so much higher than almost every other position on the football field. You can be, as you say, Richard, maybe not the best, maybe middle of the pack. You're still going to get paid a lot of money because, for one, you need a good quarterback, and two, how important that position is. It makes the value go up and get paid.
While we're talking about quarterbacks, this is what burns my behind with regards to the decisions that are made on the NFL level. Whether you draft a guy or whether you trade for him or sign him as a free agent, a great quarterback is only as good as his offensive line, and he's only as good as his receivers. And when you have a situation where you're not able to do that, you put all the trust, especially a young quarterback right out of college that you draft. You're just not giving them a chance to be successful. And we've seen so many young talented quarterbacks crash and burn because they've been thrown to the fire without the opportunity of being protected. First of all, it's a lot to take on, with an NFL playbook and adjusting, of course, being a professional, having that particular lifestyle, the culture of the teams, much less, you worried about your blind side or your front, whatever. The bottom line is, I've seen too many young quarterbacks be destroyed, thrown to the wolves in the National Football League, and I just never been able to understand what the hell they're thinking when you pick a kid that you want to be your future and you don't protect him.
Yeah, one of the good things about the Atlanta Falcons, they've always had a good offensive line. You draft players like Chris Listrip, Caleb McGarry, Jake Matthews. When teams draft offensive linemen in the first and second round, they're telling you that we are satisfied with our skilled players, and we want to build up that line because it is most importantly, especially not just to protect the quarterback, but to plug in holes for your running back. Some teams like to go running back by committee because they trust their offensive line. As a 49ers fan, that offensive line is one of their weaknesses because Trent Williams is getting up there in age. They let Aaron Banks go in free agency. John Feliciano retired.
Wow.
So I'm a little nervous because even though Brock Purdy's got $53 million, that offensive line, they need to go get maybe a veteran guard or somebody, a veteran right tackle in free agency.
All right, let's go ahead and take another break. When we come back, let's get back to something a little bit more relevant with regards to the NBA, and the playoffs got started last night. Boy, I tell you what, just a boat racer last night with regards to the Western Conference Finals, man. We got to talk about that. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021.
Did you know you can add renewing your driver's license or ID card to your grocery list? The Georgia Department of Driver Services now offers self-service kiosks at select Kroger and Publix locations. From renewing or replacing to updating your address, the kiosks will issue a temporary paper license, and you'll receive a permanent card in the mail. Skip the line and save time by adding your driver's license renewal to your grocery list today. You'll even get a $5 discount on your order. Visit dds.georgia.gov to learn more.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-8841. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Lori's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings.
Celebrate the Memorial Day holiday with big savings going on now at Gorey's Furniture Express. Be sure to check out all the hot deals throughout the store that are just too big to miss. Patio sets, mattresses, living room sets galore, plus store-wide savings up to 70% off. And that's only at Gorey's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Knowledge, wisdom, excellence, service are the core values of Morehouse School of Medicine. To learn more, go to msm.edu.
You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones Thrift Barringer and Richard Holdridge. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. And, of course, it's Hump Day. We're halfway there. Big shout out to, of course, the OKC Thunder.
Wow.
Winners in Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 114-88. Not only did they take the first win, man, but they did it in high fashion, man. That was somewhat of an embarrassment. But, again, that's what's so crazy about this time of year. How can you be so one-sided in a game? And, man, I guess that's why they play the game. But, again, big shout-out to, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, another 30-point-plus performances. Seventh or eighth point 30-point performance, in postseason play, and he is just as smooth as the other side of the pillow.
The Timberwolves were up by 4 at halftime, and I thought that the way they were playing, they were going to go in and give it to them. Their defense was great, and then in the second half, you saw the Oklahoma City Thunder just put it to them, put up 70 points in that second half, and then only gave up 40. They won the second half by 30, ended up winning the game by 26. Anthony Edwards didn't come in and wasn't great. Randall was dominant. They didn't have an answer for him. But that's all really the guy that kind of showed up for Minnesota. And then there were only 2 guys that had double digits. It's just Oklahoma City may not have the most appeasing offense when watching them. Jalen Williams hits shots when he can. Chet Holmgren's good. He can play off of Shai Gilgeous, but their defense and how many young, talented players that come in, go 100 miles an hour on that defensive end and create havoc. That is the reason why the Oklahoma City Thunder may be the favorite to win it all.
Well, again, we've heard it for, past few days, and particularly with our contributor, Sam Mitchell, the former NBA Coach of the Year and a longtime NBA player when he talks about all the talent, all the great work that has gone into picking players, selecting players on behalf of the scouting department in OKC. It's time for them to have some dividends, and that dividend got to be a championship. 17 years of all these great players that all over the league had an opportunity to start and play in Oklahoma City, to include again what they're doing right now, the talented defensive team, and again all the depth that they have. So again, anything less than a championship will be a total disaster.
Yeah, usually after watching a game one, I'm entitled to change my opinion. And I think now the Oklahoma City Thunder not only going to go to the NBA Finals, I think they're my pick to win it. The way they dominated the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're going to have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. That means they're going to have home court advantage. If they play the Knicks or the Pacers in the NBA Finals, they're going to have home court advantage. It makes a huge difference. They kind of got into a little roadblock at Game 7 with Denver because Denver has got Jokic and they're a championship team, but there's more energy from OKC. They have more depth, and they have defensive stoppers. You got a player like Lou Dort that could stop your best player. I think that Anthony Edwards, 5 of 13. If Minnesota wants to try to get back in the series, they can't go down 0-2 to Minnesota, but Minnesota has got to get more from Jalen McDaniels. You got to get more from Mike Conley. This is your veteran point guard. I know he's getting up there in age, but he's your experienced veteran point guard that should be able to handle any situation. But I think that this series is over, and OKC is going to probably win in 5 or 6.
Regardless of what we think, the bottom line is they'll go back at it again tomorrow after, of course, rehydrating and getting they're having a day of rest, so that helps a lot. But tonight, I got to tell you, man, it's going to be off the chain at Madison Square Gardens. You're talking to Pacers and the Knicks. This is one of those old school rivalries, and I know that it's going to be a who's list of celebrities courtside and in and around the Gardens. And again, when you talk about the tickets, man, again, the cheap seats, even if you can purchase one, obviously going to be through the roof. These days, talking upwards of $800-900 to if you could find a ticket to get in the worst seat. So again, I think that it's going to be a treat. Big Body Brunson, man, I tell you, I'm a big fan. And we heard Sam also talk about how he would defend this left-handed guy with that has to, he just has a lot to be despair with regards to his game. He plays angry. He's got a chip on his shoulder, but he's one of the most clutch players that we've seen, in recent time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that guard play between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. This is going to be a very evenly matched series. I could see the Knicks winning in 7. I could also see the Pacers winning in 7. It's whoever wins game 1. I think that they're going to have the momentum to possibly win this.
People have been sleeping on Halliburton, man, but he has got, again, as you sleep, he continues to creep. That's, no pun intended with regards to, Tyrese Halliburton. That name, you hear Halliburton, but he is good, Thrift.
Yeah, he's excellent, man. This guy leads the league in assists. He is one of the best offensive players we got in the league, and he has been the go-to playmaker for the Pacers. That's why him and Brunson going against each other. You got Carlisle and Tom Thibodeau going against each other. You got the physicality of New York going against the finesse, but underrated defense of Indiana, as Sam Mitchell talked about yesterday. This is about as evenly matched as it can get. I would not be surprised this goes in 7 games, and I honestly hope it does. And I feel like the same thing with the Thunder Timberwolves. As bad as Minnesota got beaten game 1, I think they'll bounce back in game 2, and that series still going to go 6 or 7.
Karl Anthony Towns, how big of a series is this for him?
It's a massive series for him. They're going to need him to continue to play the way he has been in the playoffs so far, and I would expect him to be second leading scorer on the team. But again, he's going to go against Miles Turner. You got OG Anunoby going against Siakam. You got Mikal Bridges and Nesmith. You got Nembhard. He's going to be guarding Josh Hart, and then you got Brunson and Halliburton. I mean, you could. Every single one of those matchups about as even as you can get it. I could see you picking either one for either team when going down the list. The big thing is, as Coach Mitchell talked yesterday, the depth of Indiana. Now, I will say New York has played Mitchell Robinson and Miles McBride, Deuce McBride. Both those guys go over 20 minutes in games, and they're both putting up really good numbers. So It's not like they're just playing 5. They only got 7. Indiana plays about 9. But New York, yeah, is better than I thought.
You know, another thing that intrigues me, obviously, as you talk about these championship series, is that the teams and the markets, as they as they analyze all the ratings and whatnot, the eyeballs that are on the games. Here you got OKC, you got Minnesota, you got the Knicks and the Pacers. Now, these are 4 teams that during the preseason, nobody expected them to be in this position to compete for a possibility of winning it all. But at the end of the day, when you think about the numbers, that's what I'm really intrigued about. Do you think that that these teams have the capability of making history with regards to some of the bigger numbers ever, as far as people watching the games and of course listening to the game?
I don't know about that, DJ. I just feel like they don't. Where's the superstar at?
Yep.
Brunson's good,
Yep.
Halliburton's good, Shea's good. Ant-Man's really the guy that pushes the needle. But this is NBA. If you look now, this could be the 7th consecutive year. No time in the history of the NBA have they had it worse. Heck, even more than 5 years of 5 different teams. This could be the 7th consecutive year we've had a different team win a championship. That means no dynasty, no team winning 2 out of 3, no team winning back-to-back. It's been from 2019, the Raptors, 2020 Lakers, 21 was the Bucks, 22 then goes to Golden State, 23 was the Nuggets. Last year, of course, was the Boston Celtics, and now this year's going to have a new champion as well, which is good for the league, means parity. But in the end, people love their superstars. They love the Steph Currys. They love the LeBrons. And hopefully we'll see after these conference finals that new superstar that everybody's going to gravitate towards and want to watch.
Well, again, the special sauce, as I see it, and again, whether it plays into effect or not, we do know that one certain superstar, one of the legends, one of the all-time greatest, has already been introduced and announced that he will be a part of a special analyst during I don't know if it's going to be during the finals, but I think, with these teams, and the question that I just asked you, Thrift, where's this guy? Where's the guy? Well, Michael Jordan entering the NBA broadcast booth during the finals. Again, the possibility of that. I know that they've announced that he's going to be doing some special contributions, but the fact that they even made that announcement, again, that's enough to make people, ears perk up.
Yeah, definitely. It makes my ears perk up when this happens. And is there going to be a war of words between him and Charles Barkley? Is the NBC crew going to go at the ESPN crew that talking about Shaq and Kenny and them? That's going to be it's going to be really fun seeing how it plays out. And he's a calculated guy, Michael Jordan, and he knows to stay relevant, he needs to get his butt on TV. He needs to do these appearances. He needs to talk NBA basketball to keep Michael Jordan relevant as the GOAT. And just like he did with Last Dance when he put it out during COVID, nothing else was going on, and to help bring back his name and amplify his lore, I see him doing something similar now with this TV gig.
You got a valid point, but I think that Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan doesn't have to do anything else in my mind because, again, the shoe brand, the shoe keeps driving the revenue. And again, he's, the $4 billion, not $4 million, $4 billion that he's like, they said that he's worth now, again, yachts and private planes and exotic trips and all kinds of partnerships and all kinds of investments that we never even know. I mean, he never was one that was, eager to be in amongst the media. But I just think that this is another bag of money that the NBA will definitely invest in. Again, he's strategic. He's very strategic with regards to him being out of the limelight for, a better part of the last several years. And for him to all of a sudden, decide that he wants to do this, I'm sure that it has something to do with a big, big bag.
Yeah, I think that too. I think that they're willing to pay a lot of money to have him on.
Absolutely. All right, guys, what we got? Let's go ahead and take another break when we come back. But definitely keep this in mind. We're going to be talking and hearing from a young man that is next level with regards to sports broadcasting in the city. Another version, not a Thrift, not a Richard, not a DJ, but we're talking Ant Merritt. And again, Ant Merritt has a lot to talk about and a lot to share with everybody out there in the community. You're watching Sportsvisions on Facebook Live as well as WLTC HD2. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
If it's local, it's on the Sportsvisions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Don't miss your chance to unlock employee pricing across the Ford family of vehicles at Rivertown Ford in Columbus. Ford has been committed to America for over 120 years, and this is our commitment to you. You pay what we pay. Now through June 2nd, take advantage of employee pricing for all on the outstanding performance of new 2024 and 2025 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Choose from hundreds of vehicles in stock now and save on your next Ford lease or purchase, like the Ford F-Series with incredible power and even more possibilities. Drive away today in America's best-selling truck for 48 years and counting. And right now, enjoy employee pricing plus 5.9% APR for 72 months with $3,500 in additional rebates off MSRP on the 2024 Ford F-150 XLT 2.7 liter with eligible trade-in. Want even more? Well-qualified buyers also enjoy no payments for 90 days. Ford Motor Company, from America, for America. Feel the freedom of choice when you shop exclusive employee pricing today at Rivertown Ford, in our Columbus showroom or online at rivertownford.com. Exclusions apply. Please see dealer for full details.
Hey there, fellow travelers. It's me, the Hotel Whiz. Before you go anywhere, call me day or night for hotel rates too low to publish. I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe. You see, I've already done the research, so you don't have to spend time online trying to find the best deal. That's up to 75% off. Just call me, the Hotel Whiz. It's a free call, and you get instant access to rates too low to publish with no cancellation fees.
Make a free call now and save up to 75% off your hotel rooms the next time you're going somewhere for business or pleasure. Call the Hotel Whiz now and get instant access to rates too low to publish.
800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. Call the Hotel Whiz right now at 800-710-3739.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Aflac, helping people for more than 6 decades focus on recovery and not financial stress. Check out their policies at aflac.com.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning.
Dress it up and make it real for me. Whatever that means. There's something else down for. Spend a day to get my mind, bro. Dress it up and go to Nassau. 200 miles on the dash. Gotta roll a pound up a gas. Switch your lanes in the Grand Rapids. We the one that kept it cool without it. Start acting.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones Thrift Barringer, as well as Richard Holdridge. Richard, I know that, again, we had an opportunity, or you had an opportunity to go out and cover some high school golf, and I would love for you to share that information with the Sports Visions Nation.
Well, I was at Bull Creek Golf Course in Midland, and the Columbus Blue Devils, they are your GHSA golf state champions.
All right.
So this is, I believe, their 12th state championship. I believe this is the 6th. That was Coach Parker. But there was a young sophomore by the name of Brooks Urquhart who ended up shooting a -7, and he is your individual state champion. Jay Patel also finished in 3rd place. And when you think of Columbus golf, they have done just an outstanding job as far as, you know, that with the Columbus Country Club there right near the campus, a lot of great golf courses. And I just want to thank that everybody that was out there, the GHSA having their state championship here at Bull Creek. Jonathan Shushke was out there just making sure everything went well, facilitating. I was able to get an interview with him. He's a golf pro at Bull Creek. And it was just a moment just for another state championship for the Columbus Blue Devils. When you talk, they won a soccer championship last year. They won a golf championship this year. And I was really glad that I was able to cover it on behalf of Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Sports Visions. Jack Patterson from WRBL and Drew Pavon were both there. We got interviews with the 2 players and Coach Parker, the golf coach. And also that the girls state championship was at Maple Ridge Golf Course. So we had the boys and the girls GHSA in Columbus. So, they've had golf courses all over the state. This is for the 2A classification. And so it was a pretty good day. And I think this puts a bow on sports in Muskogee County because we had the tennis championships last week. This was the final championship for Muskogee County athletics for the school year.
Give us an idea of how, when you say you covered it, obviously, how do you go, hold a whole stroke for stroke with regards to announcing the game or just getting updates, looking at the leaderboard? How do you broadcast a golf match?
That is definitely something that we definitely want to do next year. You're very limited because of the power and the connectivity. You can't really go to all the holes, but the best thing to do is just to set up on 18 and kind of just do like boots on ground, a location, and give an update. Having the leaderboard, that's tough because they got to tally that. Like they don't have like a big electronic leaderboard. They go back into the clubhouse and they're tallying the score. So sometimes you might not even know who wins until you get back from 18. But I think that I was only there just to interview the players and the coaches. They were there all day, and they wrapped up around 3:15. I got there about 3:45. So I was very fortunate that I got there to get the interviews. But yeah, going forward, I think that I was talking to Thrift about this, Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and any big golf tournament, we might be there on location and just to give an update and maybe broadcast that 18th hole just to see them putting on the green. I think that would be a good shot to give them that coverage. And I want to thank Jeff Battles just for allowing me to be there and to cover the event. And the Blue Devils are state champions. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned to Jeff Battles, the Muskogee County School District athletic director. We out of all the announcements with Coach Coffey leaving or stepping down, we didn't. I don't think we made mention to the fact that Jeff Battles is going to be moving on to, of course, another position within the Muskogee County School District.
Yeah, director of construction. If it gets approved by the school board, it's what he'll be moving to. And I can think of a few good names that I would do a great job stepping in to that director of athletics role that he just left. He did an excellent job in his time tenure there. He has helped and he's lead on being a part of multiple schools, winning multiple state championships across the board in many different sports. And really appreciate Jeff and everything he was able to do.
I tell you what, it's a great time to be again in the education system here with all the great promotions that everybody's getting, from Coffee going on, leaving athletic director at Carver and head football coach and taking a position as the principal down at Stewart County. Jeff Battles, he's a longtime athletic director, a longtime coach. He's been in the system, been a teacher. Again, here he's going. It happens, folks. Again, you got to celebrate these folks. You got to look at it from their perspective. Again, changing their lifestyles, putting them in a different tax bracket, as well, so that they can increase the quality of their lives and their advancement. And you don't do anything to stay normal. You want to, even with what we do, obviously, you guys want to increase the volume of broadcast that you do. You want to be synonymous with regards to streaming in the not just in the community, but throughout the state, throughout the country. Sportsvisions, we don't just rest on our laurels of being the best here in the Chattahoochee Valley. We want to compete at a higher level. We're not looking at anybody in particular. We're just being the best that we could be. But advancement, you want to be in a position to be the best and have an opportunity to compete with the best. And you know what? If that's what, in my mind, if that's what being in this country means, of course, it's a capitalistic society. So being the best, being able to have the most earning power, being able to help people in a way that, that you seem to feel that is necessary. So whatever turns you on, if you guys, want to broadcast cricket, if there's a such thing as cricket around here, so be it.
Right.
Do it. Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back on the other side, Ant Merritt, the former Shaw Raiders superstar, and now he's a budding sports broadcasting superstar right here in the Chattahoochee Valley. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Aflac, helping people for more than 6 decades focus on recovery and not financial stress. Check out their policies at aflac.com.
At Cartoons Car Stereo in Columbus, buy it today, get it installed today. That's right, same-day installation. Cartoons, Rockford Fosgate products, stereo head units, amps, speakers, speaker boxes, alarms, remote starts, navigation units, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so much more. Get same-day installation today. Call or stop by today for details. Cartoons on Veterans Parkway in Columbus.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Attorney advertising. Local counsel, Alexander should hire trial attorneys. Paid active dramatization. Past results and not guarantee future results in each case. They say a dog can be a man's best friend. I say I agree with that. But that's not always the case. You see, some people are scared of dogs. They'll run if they'll see a dog. They'll run. Some people don't like them. Some people been bit by them before. Some people been bit. Insurance companies, they don't like them. They've been bit before. They don't like them. Call your insurance company right now and bark. Act like you a dog. Watch what happens. They gonna hang up on you. They gonna think you top dog. And they don't like that dog. They don't like them. They've been bit before. They don't like them. That's what top dog do. Call them and start barking. Ask them if you want me to bite you. That's why you call them if you get into an accident. Let them go bite them. Top Dog Law.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. You're waking up with a Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
But without further ado, I want to talk to you. Excuse me. I want to talk to you a little bit and talk to a Shaw High School Raider legend. His name is Ant Merritt, and of course, you guys have been seeing him all over social media. You might have seen him at some of the events in the community, but Ant Merritt was one hell of a football player. I had the opportunity to cover him, and he's your commentator more recently now. He does a great job of calling games and talking about these kids. We share a common denominator, Thrift, with regards to, regardless of whether you listen to us, whether you listen to Ant, or whoever you listen to, the common denominator is, in my opinion, the kids that we cover, and we love them dearly. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ant Merritt. Welcome to the Sports Visions Morning Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, you're your favorite commentator, huh?
Hey, your favorite commentator.
Hey, country.
Yeah,
all of that. Man, listen, I love what you're doing. I love everything about it. But I got to do this for you because nobody can tell your story like you can. Now, I came on and talked about how great you were in high school. But I also made mention that you were college grade as well, but I couldn't give him the information because it just slipped my mind. So I want you to back us up. Just take a few minutes, and we got plenty of time. So walk us through the greatness of where you came from, youth league, Columbus, Georgia, all the people that poured into you, Shaw Raiders, college, and all the way up until what you're doing now.
Oh, man. Well, that's a good.
And nobody can talk about you better than you.
Yeah. Man, first off, man, I appreciate the platform. Yeah, man, I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we moved to Columbus going into the 8th grade. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Me playing ball, I was little league football. Like I was nice. You know what I'm saying? I was super nice. It was just something that I don't know where it came from. Like my mom, she was an athlete, my pops too, but it wasn't like they just go out in the yard and teach me. They would more so push me with baseball. You know what I'm saying? And I really ended up going to Shaw for baseball. Flowers didn't even know I could play football. Because once I got here, you know, went to Rothschild, and if you know Rothschild in them late 90s, man, it was crazy athletes. You talking about me playing behind a Columbus legend, probably one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen, Jason Boykin.
Yes.
Rest in peace to him. And that's a guy that I was forced to play behind because I'm the new kid in the city. Nobody knows really what I can do. So I just stuck with baseball, man. Flowers came to a Sally Little League game. Show what I can do. We sat down, talking to my mom. And at that time, we just being new in Columbus, I was getting in a little trouble, you know what I'm saying? Just at Rothschild, just trying to acclimate, So at that time I was assigned to Carver, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, whatever Flowers told my mom that day at Sally, she bought into it. And I think that was the trajectory that really changed my life. Because ain't no telling where I would have been, you know what I'm saying? It was just the structure that Flowers had outside of my pops, man. That is probably the single individual black male that I've seen here in this city just successful. You know what I'm saying? The way he ran it, I came up with the name Shaw U. You know what I'm saying? I literally came up with it because once I got off to college, it was easy. You know what I'm saying? It was super easy because that's really how he ran that program. It wasn't an off season. You know what I'm saying? We won state my sophomore year. So, we come back from state, and then we had a week left before Christmas break. You know what I'm saying? So we bring out the basketball before Christmas break. We come back from Christmas break. I'm thinking, man, we finna hoop. PE, man. We don't want a state championship. We said, and that man said, hell no. Turning weight room. And that's what it was. It was that structure. So even after school, if you're not running track baseball, man, we're still training. And that instilled my mindset, you know what I'm saying, to understand what it takes. So high school, man, 2-time All-State, 2-time All-By-City player.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
Yeah. First team All-State, 2-time first team All-By-City player of the year. Ranked the number 2 corner in the state of Georgia coming out my senior year. Recruited by every SEC school except Alabama and Vanderbilt. That's why I don't really like. But man, recruited by every SEC, ACC school in the area. And at that time, it wasn't I wasn't locked in on the classroom. I feel like I should be. It was just, I feel like if I graduate, I got all these letters, then that's all I got to be able to do. But I didn't understand GPA or SAT score, got to match that ACT score and all that, So that's really what railroaded me at that time. It was discouraging, but luckily North Alabama, where I wound up going to college at, they swooped in, man. They took care of me, and man, that was the best time of my life. 6-time first team All-American, 2 different positions. 6-time All-Conference. 2-year finalist for the Division II Heisman Trophy, which is the Harlan Hill. Finished 4th. I finished 3rd my junior year, and then I think 6th my senior year. Man, broke over 27 school conference NCAA records.
Yes, sir.
Few of them still stand. And I had an opportunity in 2007 and was an undrafted free agent to the New Orleans Saints. So, man, it was just, man, it was.
That was a who's list, man. And that's why I wanted, and I like for you to do that because again, I learned some things. You don't know anything about, you don't know everything about everybody. That's why, I love this platform. And again, I've been knowing you a long time. I knew you were the truth because I was as a sophomore, I was on the sidelines with Clip Rutledge and of course Carlos Williams. They were calling that game on the radio, and I was I saw it up front and personal, and I knew, and I saw you. You were a game changer. You were box office back then. I mean, before they even came up with the term. So, but I knew that there was a lot more to that story that I did not, or I wasn't privy to. And again, expounding all that and through it for the benefit of all the folks out there who, of course, can that missed this interview. They can also, for the sake of Ant, he can tell them where to go, because now they can realize what his credentials were and all the accolades, because I guarantee you won't find that all collectively, like he put it.
No,
you won't find that anywhere but on this interview.
Exactly. And I'm glad you were able to promote that. And I'm listen, big fan from outside. I don't think we've ever actually met in person, dude. But for one, that is an incredible accolade and list. And you can go back and listen on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. Type in Sportsvisions Radio on Facebook and YouTube. You can find us. And then on Apple and Spotify, commercial free, which is how a lot of people like to listen, the Sportsvisions Morning Show. And we have an app. So there's no reason anybody should be able to pick up this interview, DJ.
Amp, you were that dude, man. Again, but you didn't stop there. For whatever reasons, you started. They gave you a microphone, and you went from calling games to, of course, DJing or hyping the crowds. And just tell us about that career. How you transitioned into that career?
And I honestly, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's the best answer I give. Like, I was always outgoing. Like, my favorite athlete, I'm talking about any sport, any genre was Prime.
Yes.
He's the whole reason I wore 21 from the age of 6 all the way until 28 when I was, with the Columbus Lions, until the age of 28. You know what I'm saying? So, like, everything I literally wanted to be him, just emulate, you know what I'm saying? And I understood that personality and what it took to sell. We have helmets on, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to versus basketball and baseball players, you know what I'm saying, to get that type of notoriety. So I was always outspoken, class clown, man. I enjoyed that attention. That's one reason I was so drawn to football versus baseball. You go to a high school baseball game, man, ain't nobody in the stand but your folks. It's your parent. But now Friday night, you go to that Carver Smeltzer game, Shaw Simpson game back in that day where it's packed out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So now people say, okay, now I can see where, you know what I mean? So, man, just being super outgoing. And man, a young lady by the name of Kristen King, she just, I don't know, for whatever reason, she seen something in me, picked me up on that, and she the first one to really put a microphone in my face. And then it was just, man, it was easy selling from that. Michael Soul caught wind of what I was doing, and man, it's been good night Irene ever since.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And so when you go do these events and you're emceeing, you really feel the audience. You set the vibe and stuff like that, man. For guys that want to come up and do something like you're doing, what's some advice you give them and why you're so successful? And honestly, dude, it don't matter what event it is. If your name's on it, people show up because you actually got a following. So that's a whole nother thing we can get into. But what's your advice to young people trying to do what you're doing, man?
Man, be versatile. I never wanted to be stuck. Like it started out initially, just being in the club, doing parties. But I've always said that's not the avenue I want to go and just be stuck in that. So right. Man, I've done everything from cheer competitions, and wedding receptions. You know what I'm saying? Fashion shows, kickball games. I'm on now with the ESPN crew. Calling the high school game of the week, you know what I'm saying? So I've always said it's not a room that I can't rock. You know what I mean? I got, my grandmother brought me up, my parents, you know what I'm saying? So I got that old soul feel. I know how to keep things clean, you know what I'm saying? With the young crowd, you know what I'm saying? I can pipe that thing up too. It's just that it's the versatility. You know what I'm saying? You all be versatile. Don't just get stuck in one lane.
Tell you what, I can't lie. I'm being total transparent, man. I love when you get raw. I mean, when you get, it's grown folk conversation. It's grown folk listening. But when you get raw, because you come up with some sayings and some of them old country things that I grew up, and I don't know, I guess you got an old soul. You mentioned your grandmother, because again, that stuff hits home with me. And I tell you, but being versatile, being different, that's good. I mean, obviously everybody, then, you can't be all things to all people. And you have your following. I have my following. Thrift has a following. I mean, the bottom line is, if you're good at what you do, there's more room. There's enough for everybody. Everybody. And again, we should all, especially with the common denominator of calling sports and supporting these young kids and giving them the credit and the praise that they need through these broadcasts, through these play-by-play, whatever it is. I love it. But for the sake of this, I want to make sure that I acknowledge the fact that I love the fact that you follow your son and his little league, his team, all of that. Give us a little understanding.
Man. Look, and so, I got a son. Okay, so I'll take it back, man. I played with the Columbus Lions all the way until 28 years old. So like I said, I got a call 2 weeks before my son's mother told me she was pregnant about going over to Spain to to continue to play ball. So at that time, man, I'm 28, we've been 29 when that season came in, and it was, do I still want to continue to chase that, or now do I want to try to transition into that fatherhood? You know what I'm saying? So from that first ultrasound, when the doctor said it's a boy, like I'm already picturing CYF opening day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because even at that time, and when I stopped playing, and a lot of people don't know, it takes a toll mentally. When you've been doing something for so long, as long as I was doing it at the level that I was doing it, and then you got to make a transition into like everyday work day type.
Yeah.
It's a mental, it took a big mental toll. I'll say that. You know what I mean? So, and at that time, you don't know about mental health type thing. So I don't know if it was just depression, but it was just something that I had to figure out a way to get through it. So as my son's getting older, and it was years. Like even just watching the draft this past weekend is bittersweet. Like you still have the memory, because I remember what I was doing draft weekend. You know what I mean? I remember the process. I remember my pro day. You know what I mean? So it's still a bittersweet every time football season come around. But now that I had my son and he started to play ball, it really transitioned me and got me into a good headspace, because now I'm around football every day. You know what I mean? And that's also with the commentating that it helped. You know what I'm saying? So, man, my son, we started the Twin City Outlaws. It's Columbus, Phoenix City. 6U. You know what I mean? So Isaiah Crowell, boy, Jaden. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing, our kids the same age, but I remember going out to Eastway watching Crowell, and he remember me like, nah, but you was like that. So we on the sideline, our son's playing is crazy. So started that at 6U, and it wasn't really a lot of travel ball going on, but we understood Columbus and the Tri-City, man, we got some talent. Like, I'm not even just talking about Little League. I mean, you see what they do with the high school.
Yeah.
And the kids we had every year getting their name called on draft day. You know what I'm saying? We had a good 3 or 4 this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? From Meeks to Michael.
Yeah.
And so we was going up that road every Saturday up to Atlanta. At that time, we was green to it. We really didn't understand it. The travel thing, the national, the national rankings, that type deal. So our first year, we go up to Atlanta. We went, Atlanta's supposed to be the Mecca.
Right.
Football, it's a lot bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? As far as the kids to choose from. We go up there and we win the league championship first year.
Wow.
We come back 7U and same thing, win the league again. Now the people in Atlanta are like, man, who are these folk? Who are these folk down here coming up here winning? So won again, we wound up getting the invite to Nationals, which was at IMG that year. Now, when you get that national invite and you go down there, you're looking at a whole different landscape of Little League football. I mean, I'm talking about, you talking cameras everywhere, a big Georgia-Florida matchup. You talking about folk betting 20,000. Seeing them for 20,000 out of Nike bag betting. You know what I mean? College coaches down there when you got them the older age group. And these kids, they follow these boys on Instagram, YouTube. So we go down there, they see these kids, they know who these kids is. I had no clue. You know what I mean? So going down to the national, that really opened the eyes, and we was like, okay, we messed around and lost to the team that won the national championship at 7U. And whatever triggered them boys, I think that was our first loss in 2 years to anybody. Team out of Birmingham, man, good team. But whatever happened, man, a switch flipped in them kids going into 8U. So And like when we treat it like high school, like whether if they're not playing no other sport, you're training in the offseason, you're gonna stay in shape. And man, we came back 8U, we won a national championship. And since 8U, we've won three national championships in 4 years. Just won another one this past year. You know what I'm saying? At 11U, we're the first team in this age group to go back-to-back national champ. And it's always a battle between us and a team out of Atlanta, the Georgia Eagles, who head coached by James Davis. That name sounds familiar. That was Clemson running back, that Thunder Lightning package with with Spiller. You know what I'm saying? So we down in Florida last year, 10U, we played Devin Hester's team. You know what I'm saying? He's the head coach. So man, these kids are meeting, like you're talking NFL Hall of Fame with Devin Hester. You know what I'm saying? You can walk across the field, get game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I love Columbus, Georgia. I love CYF, but I try to get them. It's certain kids in this city that needs to be on a national stage. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason they don't want to, I understand. But football is a lot bigger than Columbus, man. We done played teams from California, Texas, Florida, South Florida, Louisville, Tennessee, man, North Carolina. Went down to New Orleans. You know what I mean? So watch the state of Washington, and you get to see the best of the best in that state, in that area. Texas don't play the same football that Georgia do. You know what I'm saying? Florida got a whole different type of speed than Georgia got. You know what I mean?
Right.
That Cali ball is a lot different than what you see in the South. So our kids playing that, and they getting acclimated when they get ready to go to middle school ball, high school ball. Man, they've done seen all kind of level of competition, and they built for it. So a lot of the travel kids you see, like Lil Watts, who was just Under Armour MVP of the country, the travel ball kid, and you can tell once these kids went into middle school that their speed was different. You could tell their transition into the game was a lot different than what their counterparts who played CYF all their life had seen.
I think that's a great point, and you can dominate here locally, but if you're able to do it nationally and getting that exposure, that's helping you for recruiting in the long run, man. So I am 100% with you on that. Where did this want to shine a light on the kids in this area? You're really big on that and helping them, get recruited to the next level. Why is that such a big part of your calling and your mentorship and what you do, man?
I mean, because I didn't have that. I understand these kids is the future. I love to see the kids from this city shine, regardless of what it is. I don't care if it's track, man, volleyball. If they hit my page, I want to share it. I just stumbled across a kid, Trey, that went to Columbus High, went to Yale.
Yes.
Yale graduate.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was mad that wasn't pushed enough. You know what I'm saying? Why am I just not hearing about? You know what I'm saying? So it be that. You know what I'm saying? I think I made that post, and man, I think it was shared over 200-300 people because people just didn't know.
Yeah.
Actually, Columbus High is known for baseball, so I mean, it ain't. I blame everybody, myself included, because I just want to be more knowledgeable, just with these kids and what they doing. I don't want nothing from them. I just want to see them shine.
So, and that's exactly why a collaboration of such, as far as us being competitors, that in my mind, it's not even a factor. Because again, you have information that I don't have. I have information that you don't have. But the bottom line is this community thrift has the right to understand and know who they were. And by the way, both Zach as well as the Yale grad have been on the Sportsvisions show. And I know that when he first got the offer to go to Yale, we had him on, and we were privileged to have him on. And not only he was celebrated at our high school football awards. Zach Watson, his father, sat here in this studio, not too long ago. But I'm just one platform. I can only do so much. But if we can some way collaboratively, link up and not be competitors, and you know how it is as a football player, man, we can get down and we can play and ball. But at the end of the day, when we take that uniform off, we could be, we could go kick it and have a cold drink, have a meal, hot meal. But that's how we do it. So a whole mentality of media in this area in particular, I can't speak on national. I know in this community, we have to be more of a brotherhood. And I don't mean to sound like coach speak, but to share information, to share each other's platforms. And again, yeah, you're not my competition. You're not my competition. We need to do this. And you hit a great point in that part of it for the longest of me. And I found out about that youth league as well, with going, you mentioned 7U, 6U, 8U. That means 6 and under, 7 years old and under 8. That's what that all is all about. But again, my point, and I'm going to move on because this is about you. This is not about me.
Oh, no.
Is that, we definitely want to keep you in the fold. Whatever opportunities you have, obviously I'm welcome. Hopefully I'm welcome, but definitely I want you to make sure that you're part of the Sports Visions morning show as a contributor. Whatever you got going on that needs to be said, hey man, call me up, hit me up. If I don't know, and you say if it's something you think is important, by all means, bro,
you come
holla.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. I want people to understand, man, I'm not in no competition with nobody when it comes to this lane.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I got a very good regular job. I ain't trying to take food off nobody's plate or anything like that. And really once I start getting a big wave, it was other people that, would, say little slick stuff, hate it. It wasn't never, and me, I'm picking people's brain. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all had Watt on, and I still, I've known you since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Certain things I don't know, like when they invited me to the Albany State Fort Valley luncheon, and I sat back and watched how you conducted that room, being the, being the host.
Yes.
So now I can take that into something that I do. You know what I'm saying? I sat back and watched the other media people when they did their interview. I just sat back as a fly on the wall just to learn, because I don't know everything. And like I said, I'm a public school graduate, man. I'm country as hell. Not finna change nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how other people maneuver in certain rooms. So certain things that I've hosted, I've reached out to somebody I've known hosted the year before to see what can I expect it for here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning. I'm nice with it now, but I'm still learning.
Yeah, no, 100% on that, man. And I think that's a great point about giving back. And I got to ask though, man, it's one thing emceeing events and it's another thing calling games. And I've heard you on 95.7 and you're really, really good, dude. You're actually really excellent at it. You set a good vibe on that, but it's two totally different things. You talk about being versatile. How did that come about, dude? Is it something that you were doing when you were younger? I used to practice when I was young and in high school, coming up in college, I would just mimic stuff to see if I would ever be good at it. Did you ever do that? Or you just cut the mic on, all of a sudden you're actually pretty natural at it?
And, one of the biggest celebrity deaths that hit me the hardest was Stuart Scott.
Yeah.
He wasn't no athlete, but I enjoyed how he commentated. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, it wasn't even at that time, I'm not thinking I'm gonna be in this lane. You know what I'm saying? I'm the oldest of 5. So me growing up, I just love football so much. I'll be outside playing football by myself, but I'm like literally commentating.
Yes.
Like I'm playing. You know what I mean? Just
tell me about it. Yep.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like moved out here, man. We moved into the country, so it's a bunch of woods. I get a football and just run through the wood, but now I'm commentating. Oh boy, he done spin move, brace one time. Like it was just trying to entertain myself, not knowing this is what I'm. You know what I mean? Like I can talk when I play ball on the field. I'm talking. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to the man going to get me. I'm talking to your coaches on the sideline. You mess around and push me out the bound where your cheerleaders at. I'm talking to them too. So it's just, I can talk.
Ant Merritt is our guest, ladies and gentlemen. We're up against the clock. We probably got about 4 or 5 minutes good, but I got to give you the microphone with regards to the draft and how you perceived it, your understanding, what you like, what you didn't like. And I know you want to shout out Mikhail.
Oh yeah, man. That's my little big cousin. So I've been, man, he was at Edgewood. Like once he got the Hardaway, I didn't see first. I didn't see first round because Hardaway early on.
Okay.
And then went up, man, that junior senior year. Man, it was something to see. Everybody was talking about, but is he gonna go to Central? You know what I mean? And and the reason that he stayed at Hardaway, I'm glad because he was like, his light is gonna be able to shine light onto the other guys up under. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That just shows his character. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, they gonna come for me. I'm good. Let me put a little light on on everybody else, which was a super dope, man. So, well, when he got to Georgia, man, it was, and, you know, that's my college team. You know, so, Crowell going there, Jarvis Jones, and then Mikael following suit, man. It was just, and watching him on Saturday, man, it was unreal. And having the opportunity to see him, to watch him draft night, man, his pops, who was my second cousin, Big John. Man, yeah. So, man, it was unreal to see. I'm super proud of him.
And let's go ahead and get that final comment as far as this the whole Shedeur Sanders deal.
Gotta hear it, man.
I mean, man, that's a tough call, because you can. Is it racist? No, you know, it's the narrative that it was racist. You can't say that because of the players that was taken.
Yes, right.
But I feel like it's with any loud black athlete. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, man, Angel Reese, man, hell, even when Deion played, you know what I'm saying? They want you to perform, but not let them know, I guess, per se. When we do it, it's arrogant, we're cocky, but you know, when the other complexion do it, they're showing passion. You know what I mean? So even guys I've known and played with, they say Tom Brady is cocky as hell, but he earned it. Like, you know what I mean? It's a fine line between that arrogant and confidence. Like, I feel like you put that work in, like you earn that. You know what I'm saying? Some people feed off of. I know people may say I was arrogant as a player. I don't know, but I know the work that was put in when wasn't nobody looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it ain't no easy task. So they got 5 quarterbacks on the roster, man. I don't think Deshaun playing this year. Flacco probably start the season, but you lose a couple games, but that chatter gonna start.
It is.
Get in. I just hate he went to Cleveland, because that's where quarterbacks go to die.
100%.
And we appreciate you so much, man. Got to get you on again. This is not your first opportunity. It's going to be. I'm looking forward to having you on many more times, about the big guy. Thank you so much.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
Right. Yes, sir. We do. I want to talk.
You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning for WRBL News 3. I'm Crystal Whitman. A deadly stabbing in downtown Columbus claimed the life of 60-year-old Michael Alston. Police say he was attacked near 14th and Broadway. They've now arrested 49-year-old Bobby Browder, who investigators believe is homeless. A Lee County man is facing several charges after leading police on a high-speed chase, hitting speeds of up to 120 miles per hour with a woman in the car. It started at a safety checkpoint and ended near exit 66. He's now facing charges that included attempted elude, attempted assault, and reckless endangerment. And 2 people are recovering after a shooting Tuesday night in Phoenix City. It happened near 20th Street and 11th Avenue. Police say their injuries are not life-threatening. Investigators are still working to figure out exactly what led to the gunfire. Reporting for WRBL News 3, I'm Crystal Whitman.
Good Wednesday morning. Watch out for rain and thunderstorms for your morning commute. A few of those storms may be strong to severe, with wind and hail the primary threats. The storms will start to move out by late morning. Then we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds. Highs today will be in the upper 80s. Tonight we'll drop down into the low 60s. And for your Thursday, it'll be beautiful with some sunshine and a few passing clouds. Still staying warm with highs in the upper 80s. Don't forget to stay up to date with your latest forecasts by visiting WRBL.com.
Time for another name for Nissan.
Kathy Gage of Phoenix City. Again, that name is Kathy Gage of Phoenix City.
If that's you, text headquarter to 855-706-2946 to be put on the short list for a chance to win a brand new Nissan. From Headquarter Nissan and Sportsvisions 92.1.
Aflac, helping people for more than 6 decades focus on recovery and not financial stress. Check out their policies at Aflac.com.
Hey there, fellow travelers. It's me, the Hotel Whiz. Before you go anywhere, call me day or night for hotel rates too low to publish. I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe. You see, I've already done the research, so you don't have to spend time online trying to find the best deal. That's up to 75% off. Just call me, the Hotel Whiz. It's a free call, and you get instant access to rates too low to publish with no cancellation fees.
Make a free call now and save up to 75% off your hotel rooms the next time you're going somewhere for business or pleasure. Call the Hotel Whiz now and get instant access to rates too low to publish.
800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. Call the Hotel Whiz right now at 800-710-3739.
Knowledge, wisdom, excellence, service are the core values of Morehouse School of Medicine. To learn more, go to msm.edu.
The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sportsvisions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on Sportsvisions 92.1.
I've been blind for a while now.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Good Wednesday morning. It's Hump Day, and again, it's amazing to know how far we've come in just a short period of time. But we're on the backside, headed downhill towards the weekend. It's the Memorial Day weekend, a 3-day weekend indeed. And again, a lot going on in the city. Of course, the Columbus Clingstones are home, and they'll be here playing, of course, the Montgomery Biscuits. I believe it is that they're playing. Is it the Biscuits?
Yeah, it's the Biscuits.
And, of course, got a win last night in walk-off fashion. Again, just exciting. But in addition to all of the things that are happening locally, you got the NBA Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals. They're in full effect.
Yep.
I know last night, Thrift, we had an opportunity to see Ant-Man. They got boat raced, but, again, that was just game one. But tonight, in the Gardens, we got, of course, the Knicks and the Pacers. Old school rivalry. Again, I know when you talk about Reggie Miller and the likes, and even back to the days of Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley and all those guys, man. I mean, it's just a great competition, great spirit, a great sense of urgency, and a great sense of energy in the Gods. So, we looking forward to watching that game. But again, when you talk about the matchups as we see it, I brought up a little bit earlier that the eyeballs and the attention that's on the Western Conference Final, much less after these conference finals are over, when you get into the actual championship game. How will it compare in past years to rankings? And again, as far as the eyeballs and the ears that are listening to the game broadcast as well as watching it, I don't know if these teams have that mantra. They don't have the superstar superstars are playing in the games that you once find. I don't know, but it's a different way of doing things. And again, I know that the networks now, unless I'm reading this wrong, is that Michael Jordan will become a bigger part of the sports broadcasting scene. As a matter of fact, he's going to come out of hiding, because he had been in the limelight for quite some time. I know he sold his interest, when in the team that he owned, and kind of took a back seat. But for the most part, bring in Michael Jordan, the biggest name, the GOAT. To be a part of these broadcasts and to be a part of the analyst, that's saying a little bit more than what we read.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that Michael Jordan is going to do a great job with NBC. I think he's highly intelligent, and he will say stuff that probably will make sure they hit the headlines, and he'll talk about him being the greatest of all time. I can't wait for it, and I don't know how these ratings are going to be. Remember that Nuggets Miami was horrible 2 years ago. And again, the lack of superstar power, and we potentially could have that. Now, I do think with the Knicks being in it, you're going to see a ton of people watching just because it's the Knicks, just because it's the first time they've been in the finals since 1999. I do think if you get the Knicks in it, regardless of if it's the Thunder or the Timberwolves, either way, the long as the Knicks are in it, I think they'll be fine.
I think so as well, because, again, I think Jalen Brunson is a bona fide star. I think that he has to play really, really well because, again, when the Knicks don't play well, obviously, it's almost it's kind of like the Cowboys in football. You know, they're the team that everybody's been talking about, but they hadn't won in so long. But the history and the tradition of the organization is one that they have a lot of followers, a lot of old school people, a lot of younger fans. You know, they grew up with their parents watching, you know, the Cowboys and the Knicks, and so that loyalty and allegiance is still there.
Yeah, it definitely is still there. And the Knicks franchise is just like the Jets have gone through it in recent years. Remember, from 2003 to about 2011, they didn't make the playoffs. Maybe that 2004 to 2011, the Knicks didn't make the playoffs. They have only had one playoff series win since 2000. And that was the year Melo was second in MVP in 2013. And they still were the number 2 seed and lost to guess who? The Pacers, to go to the conference finals. But they're in it this year. They're deep, they're talented, they're physical, and this is probably Tom Thibodeau's best chance of winning a championship since he was a coach of the Bulls that year, his first season when Derrick Rose won MVP.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, we're looking forward to a huge game tonight. Also, I want to give a big shout-out. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to have Dale McGee in the studios. And, again, Dale is the head coach of the Georgia State Panthers football team in Atlanta, of course, after just an illustrious career here in Columbus as a high school coach and going on and he's working his way up through the ranks and eventually being one of Kirby's top assistants, made a name for himself and got the shot to be the head coach at Georgia State. But again, you know, having him to come in and you know, to come to town to be able to, you know, kind of it has a little R&R, a little downtime now, if you will, because they'll be going into camp. The players report actually in a week and a half. And they'll get right down to business. But Dale is, you know, he was doing due diligence. He was shaking hands, kissing babies, coming and seeing his family, visiting, and had an opportunity to spend some time with him. And we had several meetings in and around town with some of the dignitaries and some of the movers and shakers, and was pleased to be able to set that up for him. But Dale has a youth camp that's coming up, and we've been talking about camps, and I know he mentioned it yesterday for the ages of kids 5 through 14, and this will be up in Atlanta. It'll be one on June the 9th, and again, one on June the 16th. But these are the football camps. So over and beyond his duties as the head football coach at Georgia State, this is an opportunity for him to give back with these camps. And again, if you need more information, just contact the Georgia State Athletic Department. And of course, you can get more detailed information on what you need to do to sign your kid up for the Dale McGee Youth Camp.
I'm so glad that he was able to pop in studio and we were able to talk to him. And he's starting to feel good about year 2, having a full off season to get his staff in place, get the players he needs. He has the number 1 class in the Sun Belt coming in this year. And I think he has just as good a chance as anyone to win that conference. And before you know it, he's going to have this program winning 8, 9, 10 games a season. And I really believe in him.
What I was able to find out too, is go, of course, in conversation, you know, being a head coach is a lot of, you know, it has a lot of responsibility. And even on the level that Dale is at Georgia State, and yeah, they play Vanderbilt and they play some of the Tulane and Memphis, and they're in the conference where, you know, that's Division I football. But you know, Georgia State's football program has only been around for, 15 years or so. And, so they're still building. They're still trying to, find an identity, find, of course, resources and have support. And Dale going and taking that job at Georgia State was indeed a promotion. It was definitely a move in the right direction with regards to him elevating in his career. But, Dale McGee, as we know it, his hometown, those of you whoever you cheer for, but we're proud of him. And again, one of the main reasons that, I definitely wanted to make sure that, I definitely turned him on to some people that I thought that could be resources that could be help, not only to his program, but to him personally, is that, it's over and beyond the fact of the call of duty with what they're asking him to do at Georgia State. And I don't think you guys understand with regards to raising money, competing against teams for, the NIL in that NIL era, the transfer portal. It's a difficult job. And yeah, we're happy, but he needs us more than ever now with regards to resources, networking. Of course, the easy part is obviously finding the football players because we're in the state of Georgia and he's from right here in Columbus, Georgia. And we know that this Chattahoochee Valley area and surrounding, I mean, this is just one of the hottest areas in the country with regards to high school football talent. So that's not so part of it. What they need to, well, when I say Dale and his program, they need to have an understanding of course, if you have influencers out there, if you have people that are movers and shakers, people that can support him and know, because as I tell people all the time, Dale is at Georgia State now, but he could be the head coach or the next head coach of one of the great programs that you root for. And again, those people who are with him now, those people who helping him, of course, make the adjustment, those people who are resourceful, those people who share their network with him, should he need advice, should he need references, should he need players, those are the people that'll be with him. Because again, you remember Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, those guys all had early beginnings and starts too. So what I'm just saying now, again, those of you who are classmates, those of you who are teammates, those of you who played for Dale, you moved on, and hey, stay in touch with them and as best you can, and be there for him, because obviously he needs you in a big way. Yeah, he's done really well, and he is definitely going to continue that drive and that same passion and that charisma that we all knew. But just know that he was born and raised here in Columbus, Georgia. Actually, he grew up here and went to school here. Everything about his athletic career was started here, and he's one of ours at the end of the day, regardless of wherever he goes.
I'm glad you said it. I'll emphasize it. Don't wait till someone makes it big time when you could have supported them when they were on their way up in the rise. That is some nonsense. That's some malarkey, and I can't stand stuff like that. Which is why you always support people that are here locally, and when they come to ask you for a favor, you don't say no and then turn around when they make it and ask for a favor. And it happens. There are people that are just oblivious to themselves. So this is a cry. He's asking the community to come and help support. He's growing something special at Georgia State. This is when you rally, because when this guy is now taking over Auburn, taking over a big-time job, and you're asking for favors or want to be included in that, I hope he looks at you and says no. So right now, let's go, Columbus community. Let's support the Panthers.
And then, if you say that, obviously, from experience, because again, once upon a time, not too long ago, and that's the great thing about it, is that, you had some people out there that didn't think a whole lot about what you were doing and what you needed. But now that you have risen above all of that, you made a name for yourself. You've established a successful business. You have, of course, worked with us here with Sportsvisions with me now, for several years, 5, 6, 7 years or so. And again, you're a household name in this community, and you're seeing people that treated you like poop. They're all of a sudden on your team.
100%, man. And that's the part I'm talking about. So you got to make sure you treat people the right way. And Dale did it the right way. Dale took over Carver, and Carver had been a good program, but he took them from a good program to a dominant program. He took them to where they are now, where every single year you're thinking state championship. And it was because of the Dale McGee era. That's what brought it on. And then he went on and did it right at Georgia, being an assistant coach, learning from the best on how to recruit. And now he's got an opportunity to grow something special at Georgia State. I know everybody's a Georgia, Auburn, Alabama fan, but we adopt our own, and we have to adopt Georgia State Panthers. And I hope everyone's cheering for them just like I am. And I know you are too, DJ.
Absolutely. And I want to shout out a few people that we had the opportunity to spend some time with. And of course, get Dale reacquainted with them. And of course, the dean himself, Calvin Schmeiry, of course, he is the chairman of the Fountain City Classic. Had a chance to sit down with him, along with, of course, Frank Lumpkin, of course, Attorney Ben Finley, as well as, of course, our mayor, Skip Henderson, and our city manager, Isaiah Hughley. So, again, those were just a few of the folks that we were able to say hello, stop in, and, of course, shake hands and kiss some babies, and just make sure that they know that, Dale is counting on them. And you know what? If you have a chance to go to one of the home games, that's a part of it, because, again, selling tickets and all of that, that matters. It matters. It's not just, again, addition to if you have it in your heart or if you have it in your budget, to write a check to the athletic department more, and specifically earmark it to the football team at Georgia State. But again, just having an opportunity to, again, be a part of their success and a part of his growth, because he is dependent on you.
Yeah, he 100% is depending on you, and I'm glad you said it, DJ. And I'm looking forward to going and maybe covering a game or two with the Panthers and seeing if they got a chance to win the Sun Belt. That I think is pretty wide open this upcoming year, and they got a really good class coming in as well.
Absolutely. So don't forget the camp. He's got a camp coming up June the 8th. I'm going to see. Make sure I give that number, and correctly here with regards to the camp that he has coming up. June the 9th as well as June the 16th. And those that will be if you could make that bigger and read the details on that.
Yeah, so it's the Dale McGee Youth Camp that is going to be hosted by Dale McGee and his assistant coaches. June 9th, you got the AM session that's 8 to 11, and the PM session, which is 5 to 8:30. So 2 different sessions. And then on June 16th, same thing. AM session 8 to 8:30, 8 to 11:30, and PM session 5 to 8:30 as well. So I look forward to seeing how that plays out, and it costs $40 for you to go and register right now. So go register and be a part of that awesome camp.
And if you have any problems or need any additional details, call 706-681-1136. We'll be happy to give you an opportunity to help navigate and get your kids enrolled in the camp. Looking forward to it. That's Dale's way and his coaching staff's way of giving back to the community. What I found out yesterday is that in addition, now this is just Dale's the second year going into it, his third year. We went up and did a spring game. We've been up to 2 springs. This is going into his third season. And what I found out is that he had to basically make some moves on his staff. I did not know, but he had at least 4 or 5 guys that he had to replace. He said sometimes, when you go in and you get hired in the 11th hour, you have guys on board and you don't necessarily have an opportunity to really when you're interviewing them to understand how they line up, if in fact do they line up with your programs. Of course, you can have talented guys, but again, when you talk about character and attitude and mentality and goals, all of that stuff has to line up. Much less you have to mold a football team, but you have to create that staff. And particularly because that is the extension of you to help build this team. So again, coming in, he's got some new coaches on staff that he had. And again, just wishing him the best. I'll definitely be following him.
I definitely will be following him as well, and been following him. My granddad swears by him and loves him, and he's got a busy summer. So June 2nd, 4th, 7th, 14th, and 22nd, that's the prospect camp. That's for upcoming seniors in high school that want a chance, or unsigned guys that want to have a chance to be able to play in front of and participate in front of the coaches at Georgia State. He's got a 7-on-7 camp, which has got teams coming in playing 5 different days in June. Then he's got the youth camp that DJ talked about. That's June 9th and 16th, 2 different sessions, morning and an afternoon. And then he's got offensive defensive line camp. So the entire month of June, he's got a bunch of camps going on.
Absolutely. And just to expound a little bit further, because I think that I knew, but I really didn't until he basically reiterated the fact that, being a head coach, yes, it's a D1 program, but, unlike Georgia, unlike Auburn, and unlike most SEC schools, when you're a head coach on a Division I level, there's still, there's certain levels, of expectation. There's certain levels of resources. There's certain levels of money. Again, the NIL and the transfer portal is effective for the big schools, but small schools like Georgia State, if they don't have the money and they can't, basically they get the kids in and he wants to develop them because, it's a common practice now, just in his conversation. You know what? If you got a kid and you develop him and he's going to be, ends up being pretty good, the bigger schools are going to come and get him because he doesn't have the money to compete with offering them. And that's the nature of the business today. And that's what people don't understand in college football. Everybody is, including the top teams are they're reaping the benefits, but at the same time, the smaller schools, like, again, with the smaller budgets, and particularly with Georgia State, they recruit a kid and the kid stays there. And, they just, to be able to write the checks that some of the monies that I'm hearing out there is just stupendous. It's crazy. Yeah. But again, my hat's off to them. It's a different day, different era. And I don't know. I couldn't do it back before all of this stuff was, available. But certainly now it's a challenging industry. And I just wish them the best.
Yeah, I do too. It's gonna be tough, but he's learning the nuances and how it's more than just X's and O's when being a head coach of a major college football program. You're a CEO of an organization, and it takes some time getting used to. But at least he's learning, and this will be valuable experience if he does and I think will move on to even a bigger school.
Absolutely. Thrift, let's move on to, high school baseball. I know we had Coach Greg Mathis on yesterday, and we're going to stay here. We got a few more minutes before we get to the top of the hour. But with regards to getting everybody, basically being the control officer to let everybody know, to navigate them, to when, what, where, and how, of course, after the big victory that Brookstone had the other day.
Yeah, so they will be playing on Friday against Tatnall Square, the number 3 seed, 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. We'll broadcast it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but come out to the ballpark, enjoy some good baseball. It's game 1 is 2, game 2 is 30 minutes after, probably closer to 4:35, and then the game 3 will be, if necessary, on Saturday. So this is the right to go to the state championship. Winner will play next week at Synovus Park. Remember, the home of the GIAA baseball state championship. So now, as all the other sports are really wrapping up, you got baseball, and because GHSA state championships are this week, so GIAA, you're going to still have going for next week. And then soccer's already done for GHSA. GIAA soccer next week as well. And we still got 4 teams, 2 girls, 2 boys from Calvary, Pacelli, and Brookstone still alive.
I know that the GHSA spends a lot of time in Macon with the football championships being down there, as well as sometimes the basketball. But where's the baseball?
Rome, Georgia,
up north there.
Up north, and that is where Troup County and the GHSA baseball state championships are for this year. So I heard that it's a fantastic ballpark. They play in that the minor league ballpark up there, so can't wait to see how it's going to play out. They literally just started Monday, and the last day is Thursday, so they're going on right now.
Absolutely. And as far as the GIAA and the state championships that are coming up next week, I guess it's all over but the singing. You guys have already mapped out. You've already gone through logistics as far as the broadcast and, all the setups, all the teams and the hotels and all the things that go on when, the powers that be at the GIAA, when they have it. First of all, that they have a beautiful stadium, a great facility. So that part of it is all buttoned up, and I'm sure as far as hotel accommodations and all the meals, all the arrangements and all the itinerary that's associated with the tournament is still a work in progress.
And that's why we got the Columbus Sports Council, Mary Sherman and Dave Boyd helping that, and they got the NAIA World Series this weekend that turns into the GIAA State Championship. So it's between graduation, Columbus United FC soccer, the NAIA College Softball World Series at South Commons, Lions football, and the Clingstones. A lot happening here in the next week. So just be prepared for major traffic down there by the Civic Center. By the way, I want to correct myself. So Rome is the home for the 2A, 3A state championship at Advent Health Stadium. The private is at Georgia Southern, and then 4A, 5A, and 6A is at Gwinnett Coolray Field. So there's 3 different locations. And if we had any team from this area, the 2A from Muskogee County, they would have been playing at Rome.
706-324-1420 is the number to call if you want to, make us aware of something that maybe we don't know about as sports related in the community. However, we appreciate all of you guys engaging, of course, participating with us on our Facebook page. And when we come back out of the break, we definitely going to be shouting you out there. So go ahead and take an opportunity, if you haven't already, go to our Facebook page, that's Sportsvisions TV, Radio, Magazine, and let us know how you feel about the Sportsvisions morning show, or perhaps you just want to say good morning.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have to take another break. You're watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 92.1. This is the Sportsvisions morning show.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Aflac, helping people for more than 6 decades focus on recovery and not financial stress. Check out their policies at aflac.com.
Lori's Furniture Express. Your expressway to savings.
Celebrate the Memorial Day holiday with big savings going on now at Gorey's Furniture Express. Be sure to check out all the hot deals throughout the store that are just too big to miss. Patio sets, mattresses, living room sets galore, plus store-wide savings up to 70% off. And that's only at Gorey's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Minor League Baseball is back in Columbus. Catch Clingstones Baseball every night on Sportsvisions 92.1. Your home for the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer, the Dan Patrick Show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Knowledge, wisdom, excellence, service are the core values of Morehouse School of Medicine. To learn more, go to msm.edu.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-8841. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Attorney advertising. Local counsel, Alexander Shahara trial attorneys. Paid active dramatization. Past results and not guaranteed future results in each case. They say a dog can be a man's best friend. I say I agree with that. But that's not always the case. You see, some people are scared of dogs. They'll run if they'll see a dog. They'll run. Some people don't like them. Some people been bit by them before. Some people been bit. Insurance companies, they don't like them. They've been bit before. They don't like them. Call your insurance company right now and bark. Act like you a dog. Watch what happens. They gonna hang up on you. They gonna think you top dog. And they don't like that dog. They don't like them. They've been bit before. They don't like them. That's what top dog do. Call them and start barking. Ask them if you want me to bite you. That's why you call them if you get into an accident. Let them go bite them. Top Dog Law.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer. Big shout out to, of course, the folks that who come on this show and share their lives. They share their stories. Ant Merritt, man, I tell you, he's a hoot. He is one hell of a guy.
Yeah, I love Ant Merritt and appreciate him coming on, and look forward to seeing him around the town in the near future. I do want to say shout out to some of the commenters, including Stanley Crowell, saying good morning. Welcome to Hump Day. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Good job, Stanley Crowell. Also, we got Patricia Moore. Good morning, Sports Visions from Annapolis, Maryland. How about that,
Say
DJ?
that. From where?
Annapolis, Maryland. Yeah.
Annapolis. Okay.
Yeah, in Maryland. So we got people all the way up in the north listening to this. We told you. Happy Hump Day. Thank you, Aunt Candy. How about Big Rick Rogers? Big Rick, who's going to be helping me PA announce this weekend. You know, he PA announces for Northside. He says, good morning, Sports Visions. Happy Hump Day. Thanks, Big Rick. We also got David Boyd in the house. Don't forget CS Columbus High Wrestling, which we talked about when they won a championship. The Columbus High boys were state champs. Obviously, you know, Sports Council had something to do with them being at Bull Creek Golf Course. And then he said, listening on 92.1 while setting up for the NAIA World Series. Then we had Javar Rakestraw. We love Javar. He loves commenting.
Yep.
Morning, brothers. Ratings are getting worse because the NBA makes it so hard to watch. Everything is on apps and cable. Half the apps require you to pay extra inside the apps. NBC, aka the Jordan Network, as he leads basketball, they do too, is a basic channel. Everyone can watch it with ease. Plus, the NBA thrives off the WWE hill like LeBron James and Durant. They don't have one playing, right? And they don't have that. Who's that superstar going to be this year? And then he said, my daughter goes to GSU. He is cheering for those Panthers. So thank you for the commenters.
Yep, I tell you, man, a lot of participation today. And of course, for those that don't participate, hey, man, think about it, because we not only open the platform up for you to share information about what you perhaps feel is important to you. The fact of the matter is that we appreciate that. We want to know, because again, we don't know all things in the universe, as Miss Candy always says. And I now have taken on in my calling. It's a great way to let people know that I'm not any smarter than you. It's just that I might read a little bit more or a little bit less. But the bottom line is, hey, we don't know all things in the universe, and we don't act like we do. And we welcome your comments. We welcome your criticism, if that's proper. But again, 706-324-1420 is our number, our studio line here and we're broadcasting from the beautiful PMB studios right here in Midtown Columbus. And again, they'll be right in the shadow of the Aflac Tower. So we can look out of this corner office window over here, and we can see the Aflac Tower to our back left. And again, it's a great place. Again, great central location. We can get downtown in 4 or 5 minutes. We can get to the north side in 5 minutes. I mean, Midtown is just what it is, right? Slap dead in the middle of Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah, it's a great location, and we love being on this street for sure. It stays busy as well.
Absolutely. I know that Thrift, you have you're not too far removed from obviously going to your last, of course, Clingstones game, and I'm just trying to figure out when and where or how I want to go over the next couple of days with regards to again, I just every homestand I wanted to try. My goal is to try to get down there to a game or two.
Yeah, that's my goal too. I may go by down there tonight. I don't know, but if not, the next couple of days I'll be around downtown helping out with that NAIA World Series. So I plan on at least trying to make an appearance there before the series wraps up on Sunday.
All right, you mentioned NAIA, the series and all that's coming to town. Why don't you share with everybody some of the things that you'll be doing?
Yeah, so this upcoming weekend, actually tomorrow, going through next Wednesday, is the NAIA World Series. There's going to be a ton of teams. NAIA is the National Athletic Intercollegiate Association, which has got teams like Reinhardt, Point University. These are NAIA schools. I'd say talent-wise, it's right between Division I and Division II. Really talented people. Remember, we had Snowflake on a few weeks ago. He coached at a NAIA school, but this is where they host the World Series. They've been hosting it here at South Commons for 10 years. Over that. So great job by Mary Sherman and Dave Boyd and Herbert Green for bringing the World Series here. And they're going to have a ton of teams. They're going to have a ton of hotels, bringing in a lot of revenue. That starts Thursday, championship next Wednesday. Then we have, of course, playoff baseball for Brookzone. that I'll be doing on Friday. Next week, I'll be going to Stratford Academy, which is in Macon. That's the host for the soccer state championships on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then turn around and come right back to Columbus at Synovus Park is where the baseball. So I'll be calling state championships for 5 straight days next week, on top of helping out with the NAI. So it's going to be a busy weekend, and throw the Lions in there. We got Columbus United Soccer on Saturday. Just busy next week or so for sure.
And remember that you are a young guy, and with that said, you got to eat your Wheaties, man. You got to get your rest. You got to hydrate. You got to do all those things, because I know sometimes I can remember being, you thought that it couldn't happen to you. You just felt like you had this unusual amount of energy, but again, getting the proper rest, especially in the broadcast business, so that you can be on your game. And I don't need to. Yeah, yes, I do. I do need to tell you that.
Yeah.
I have to, because again, you could get so wrapped up and so caught up in some things that you think that are necessary, but again, you got to take advantage of the opportunities to rest the voice, rest the body, rest the mind.
And I am thankful for the team, and I got a plethora of guys that are going to be helping me out, calling from Mike Peacock to our guy Ricky Rogers, of course, Richard and Noah Shelton. I got a good group of guys that will be helping do it, because there's 19 games in about a 5-day span, and from Thursday to Saturday, it's 4 games a day. So I'll take all day Thursday. Richard's going to take all day Friday, and then I got 2 guys doing it Saturday. Me and Richard will come back on Monday for the 3 games, and then I got Noah and Ricky doing Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, I told them too, and this is for everyone out there, before you take on a job, understand what it takes, how much effort you're going to get into it. And I had to let them know up front, because I used to be like, yeah, I'll do it, and then try to figure it out later. I didn't want to do that this time. I had to let them know, hey, if you're looking for one voice to be the voice the entire World Series, I can't be your guy. But if you're looking for a team effort in which I can get a collection of professionals to come and take care of it, I can help that. And they like, dude, I'd rather have that, the collection of guys. Just let me know who's going to be there, and we'll make it happen.
That sounds like a guy who's experienced. Again, for the first time, you're getting that opportunity. Yeah, you want to eat all. You go to the buffet and eat as much as you can. But instead of course, figuring out, okay, I can eat all I want right now, but it's going to pay later, as opposed to going in and be comfortable and eating over a course of a period of time and taking in just the right enough meals so that you can function and come back and get another good meal and another good meal. So that's a good analysis of how you've been able to grow.
And also, I gotta have time for my family too, and for my loved ones. So if I work every day,
I wasn't going to say nothing, but you kind of you mentioned them last. You should have mentioned them first.
Yeah, well,
sorry, Natalie.
Yeah, I have to make sure that they're top of the priority. So obviously, you got to work, and she understands what it takes to be in this business. But there's a fine line between growing your brand and doing what you need to do, and then just taking on too much. And sometimes not everything's going to help you. So yeah, I've tried to be a lot smarter at that, and also knowing I got to call those state championships next week. If I try to call 17 public PA announcing 17 games before that, I won't have any voice. So I need to make sure I'm taking care of that and getting guys each having a turn. And then you also run out of energy too. And I don't want to run out of energy before next week.
Well, again, that's why I'm saying hydrate.
Yep.
Make sure you eat,
sleep,
and of course. But again, it's nothing like having a team, your family behind you. To understand, to help you and to help enforce. If that's if that's a strong enough word, the fact that when you don't have to, you don't have to just keep your mouth closed and relax and put the right things in your body so that obviously you'll get the peak performance.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, you don't know until you try it. But again, hey man, people would love to have the opportunities that you've had come up over the last 6-8 months to the last couple of years that you've done this. And hey man, just look at it as being a reward, and again, more to come.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I do, and I take honor and make it a privilege to anytime I get an opportunity to go out and showcase talented players and being able to call games. I'll never take that for granted.
Absolutely. 706-324-1420 is the number to call. We didn't have to talk a whole lot about the Braves, but again, Spencer Strider was able to come in. We lost him last year as we lost Ronald Acuna. And Strider came in, pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs. Wasn't a great performance. Now, we do know, because a lot of people are confused, that Strider was out all last year with an elbow injury, but he came back in April, but he pulled the hamstring. So he went back on the DL, And of course, he went out the other night and was not satisfied with his pitching performance. I know that everybody's still wondering, when is Ronald Acuna Jr. going to be joining the team, and everybody's thinking that it sounds like it's going to line up this weekend with regards to when I believe they're going to be hosting the San Diego Padres at Truist Park. So right now, if all we know is that Ronald Acuna is at the AAA Park in Gwinnett, and that's where he's, of course, continuing his rehab assignment. But in the next few days, they are expecting to have him back at Truist with the big boys. And you know what? Somewhere between that time, it was nice to be able to mention Columbus and the AA Clingstones. But that time is starting to run thin. And it's time for Acuna to get back to business, get back to doing it in a big way. And I'm sure that his mental and physicals will say that, and it would add that extra energy and extra excitement to the Braves roster.
I completely agree with that. And I think if we can get Acuna back playing the way, and it's going to take time, he's not just going to come in and start being MVP form, but the Braves are around 500 right now. Lost last night inexplicably to not a really good Nationals team as they're on the road. So hopefully they can win these next 2 games, continue winning these series. And when they get Acuna back and they have Strider pitching their best, they'll be able to compete and catch up to the Phillies and the Mets, who ultimately they're playing against right now. I know there's other teams in the playoffs, there's other teams in the league, but the main 2 are Phillies and Mets, who are the Braves' enemy right now to try to win the division.
And attention, everybody out there. In about 20 minutes, Jack Johnson, the voice of the Columbus Clingstones, will be with us. He'll fill us in, of course, not only last night walk-off victory over the Montgomery Biscuits. However, he'll have an opportunity to go there and go where nobody else can go but the voice of the Clingstone.
I can't wait to have him on. He's excited to come on, and he's ready to talk about those Clingstones. We got a huge walk-off last night, and a great call by Jack Johnson as well.
Absolutely. Now, again, as far as the weather's concerned, Thrift, I know that we get the weather breaks and whatnot, but as far as you see it in the reports that you've read, no inclement weather to speak of?
As of now, we shouldn't have any problems with weather. I looked at like it was going to be actually kind of hot, very sunny this upcoming weekend, which would be great because you got to think these games have to be played, DJ. And so they can't just cancel them. They're going to have to be rescheduled, and nobody wants to keep pushing things out further and further as the summer is about to start. So doesn't like any rain until next week. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 50% Monday, 75% Tuesday, 40% Wednesday. But the rest of this week and heading into the weekend, it should be absolutely beautiful, and it's going to be up to 90 on Sunday.
As far as the forecast, as you just read it, how does that match up with the GIAA and the state championships? What days and how the rain?
Well, the Tuesday and Wednesday, those are soccer, so we could be calling state championships in the rain, and that's also the semifinals and state and national championship for the NAIA World Series as well. So we hope that there won't be much rain because I don't think they want to prolong the softball World Series when you got the GI Day coming up in the GIAA. We dang sure can't afford to reschedule it when we got baseball, especially. I mean, it could happen, but it would be really hard on everybody involved because the GIAA.TV crew, we expect to be soccer that turns straight into baseball. If we had soccer and baseball going at the same time, that means more people, more operations, more crews. And that's asking a lot, especially last minute. So we hope that weather won't have a factor in. Knowing that GIAA, they'll play through it unless it's just egregious.
Well, I tell you what, that administration from GIAA has to have a tough gut because it's no way for you to estimate or guesstimate the conditions. However, again, you can have soccer in the rain. It's just the lightning is that what throws everything else off.
Yeah, it does, and especially for baseball, soccer as well. But, in baseball, you're swinging a metal bat. In soccer, I mean, unless you're a goalie, you're pretty good. You're on the field and you got the soccer ball as well. But let's knock on wood and hope that it's just a trickle. They can play through it. And, again, knowing the GIAA will finish games late at night because everybody's going to be out. That's the reason they moved it because they were tired of the baseball state championships and stuff. They usually were this week. And they were competing with graduation. And so when they were trying to reschedule games when it did rain or whatever it may be, it got to be tough. And because obviously nobody wants to miss their graduation. With that being said, they decided to move it an extra week. So no one's in school next week. Everybody's out. So they'll play games late as they need to make sure they can get them through it.
All right, let's go ahead and take another break. You are listening to, of course, WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 92.1, and you're watching Facebook Live. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning for WRBL News 3. I'm Crystal Whitman. A deadly stabbing in downtown Columbus claimed the life of 60-year-old Michael Alston. Police say he was attacked near 14th and Broadway. They've now arrested 49-year-old Bobby Browder, who investigators believe is homeless. A Lee County man is facing several charges after leading police on a high-speed chase, hitting speeds of up to 120 miles per hour with a woman in the car. It started at a safety checkpoint and ended near exit 66. He's now facing charges that included attempted elude, attempted assault, and reckless endangerment. And 2 people are recovering after a shooting Tuesday night in Phoenix City. It happened near 20th Street and 11th Avenue. Police say their injuries are not life-threatening. Investigators are still working to figure out exactly what led to the gunfire. Reporting for WRBL News 3, I'm Crystal Whitman.
Good Wednesday morning. Watch out for rain and thunderstorms for your morning commute. A few of those storms may be strong to severe with wind and hail, the primary threats. The storms will start to move out by late morning. Then we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds. Highs today will be in the upper 80s. Tonight we'll drop down into the low 60s. And for your Thursday, it'll be beautiful with some sunshine and a few passing clouds. Still staying warm with highs in the upper 80s. Don't forget to stay up to date with your latest forecasts by visiting WRBL.com.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist, clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Aflac, helping people for more than 6 decades focus on recovery and not financial stress. Check out their policies at aflac.com.
Attorney advertising. Local counsel, Alexander Shahara trial attorneys. Paid active dramatization. Past results and not guaranteed future results in each case. They say a dog can be a man's best friend. I say I agree with that. But that's not always the case. You see, some people are scared of dogs. They'll run if they'll see a dog. They'll run. Some people don't like them. Some people been bit by them before. Some people been bit. Insurance companies, they don't like them. They've been bit before. They don't like them. Call your insurance company right now and bark. Act like you a dog. Watch what happens. They gonna hang up on you. They gonna think you top dog. And they don't like that dog. They don't like them. They've been bit before. They don't like them. That's what top dog do. Call them and start barking. Ask him if you want me to bite you. That's why you call him if you get into an accident. Let him go bite him. Top Dog Law.
Minor League Baseball is back in Columbus. Catch Clingstones baseball every night on Sportsvisions 92.1. Your home for the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer, the Dan Patrick Show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Knowledge, wisdom, excellence, service are the core values of Morehouse School of Medicine. To learn more, go to msm.edu.
If it's local, it's on the Sportsvisions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer. It's Hump Day. It's Wednesday, y'all. I know that you're excited out there, getting ready for your Memorial Day weekend. What you got to put on the grill?
I think I'm going to put on some burgers. I don't know, burgers or steak. What are you for Memorial? It feels like a burger type holiday, right?
Burgers are good. Burgers are good. But I did a burger yesterday. We had lunch down at the Animal Farm, man. I didn't realize that they had that excellent bacon cheeseburger. But I did that. I don't know. You can't go wrong with seafood anymore. That's the whole thing in my transformation in my eating habits is that, I'm really more appreciative of the seafood and, of course, crab legs and that type of thing. I've always liked oysters. But it's been more of an appetizer kind of thing. Big on soups, chowders, and gumbo. And I tell you, but I don't know. Just I know what I really, really want is some Caribbean food. That's where one of the things that I haven't had a whole lot of lately. But yeah, getting some oxtails, which my wife fixed for me probably once or twice a month because she knows that I love her oxtails and rice and beans and cabbage. But
that's your meal, man.
Yeah, but jerk chicken. Rice and beans. Okay, that's a visitor there. John, yeah, I'm on the air live, buddy, and I'd love to talk to you. I'll give you a call back when I get off the air. All right, buddy? Yes, sir. Man, that's live. That's live radio for you, but that was that was John. Of course, that's the big San Francisco 49ers top round pick. Pop.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to have a cameo, or maybe he had something important to tell me. But I know one thing: at the break, I'm going to definitely call him back to see what's going on. But I bet he's slipping out. He's probably listening right now too.
Saying, I didn't mean to bother you during that
Big
moment.
John, what's up? Yeah.
So Mercy's, is that a place that you've enjoyed with oxtails?
Mercy. I've had a little
Jamaican food.
Yeah, Mercy's. But my wife does the oxtail. I don't buy anybody's oxtails anymore. Now that she does what she does, because again, it's just. Such a letdown. Even now, before you had Miss Candy doing her thing with oxtails, for me at the house, I had to get it where I could get it.
Right.
But Mercy's and Spices and all the Caribbean food places. And again, that's a great thing about going down to Tampa this weekend is that I will have an opportunity to get some authentic, Caribbean food.
I know you're excited about that, and I can't wait. And I know it's going to be a fun time, too, down there Memorial Day. They probably got a lot planned in Tampa Bay, these big cities do for Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely. Big shout out to K3. We're going down primarily for not only Miss Candy's tea and conversation at Al's Finger Licking Soul Food in Ybor City, but, K3 made the All-Star team, and he's going to be playing, and we got him some new equipment. We got to take him a new bat bag down there. The kids like the bat bag with the wheels on it. They don't like the backpack anymore.
No, they like pulling it.
Yeah, They like pulling it. And, but we don't. I guess about 4 weeks ago, we were able to get him that sliding glove. They got that little deal now.
Yep.
Little kids, 7 years old, are wearing sliding gloves. They're watching their heroes on
they would have it
baseball.
on.
Yeah, batting gloves, sliding pants.
Dude,
it's like, what the hell? When I was 7 years old, hell, I didn't even play organized ball until I was 10, 11 years old.
And I did wear batting gloves, but they got the sleeves on. They got everything. And I'm like, for one, half these kids, you can barely see. Their arms are so little that when they have all this stuff, you don't see anything. You just see a bunch of pads swinging a bat. So I love it, though. I love that they look up to these people when they wear their pants up and they got it like Derek Jeter used to have his pants. So I think that's awesome.
But K3 looks good. He's a little slim kid and a good-looking boy, and he looks good in his uniform. He looks like an older player, but again, he's a kid. He's just a little young boy, 7 years old, and he wears his uniform. And again, whether you wear the high knees or the long pants now, again, he's up there wearing, he's got his pants pulled up on his knees. He wasn't showing all of his socks, but that reminds me of the old times in baseball. But you remember then, more importantly, the long pants with even almost like a bell bottom shape, at the ankles, because that was a fashionable style. But I guess it's all over the boards now, whether you can wear the high knee, old school, or the long pant leg deal. it's whatever you like.
Yeah, you're right. There's so many different styles, and I meant to say A-Rod. Derek Jeter had his pants down, but you're right. You got the bell bottoms. I never really understood. I like either wearing it up or just having normal pants, but I get it. I understand it. Everybody wants an opportunity to be comfortable when they're playing the sport. They want to look good, feel good, to play good, like you say.
Shout out to all the parents who have to buy equipment, man, because
Especially baseball.
I was in the sporting goods store the other day, man, and I was looking at these bags and again the batting gloves. The bags it's not a bag under $100.
No
I guess,
chance.
But the batting gloves, they got their prices, but the actual bats that these kids are using now,
over $150.
Oh my, over $250.
For the good ones that you really
Yeah.
want, the elite ones, you're spending $300-$400, maybe, especially in high school, $500-$600.
Yes,
come on, man.
Yes, I tell you, man. Like I said, shout out to the parents that have to, put into work, and again, they have to make sure that they, of course, have the equipment for the kids to perform. Man, wow! And you know what? I thank my parents, man, because they sacrificed for me to play all sports: baseball, basketball, football. And again, you have to buy that equipment when you're in youth sports. I mean, it's not like when you got up into high school and a lot of the equipment was already there, and it was supplied and given to you. But anyway, I just, again, it just baffles me when I look at those prices of all, because again, it ain't just one item. You got to get a batting gloves, you got to get the bat, got to get the sliding pants, you got to get that, sometimes the cap, because again, they got to practice now. And the uniforms that you have to purchase, that's over and beyond with the registration. So yeah, you need a small fortune for a kid to participate.
It's that way in almost every sport, but baseball, it's about the worst, because think about all the gear you got to buy. Then you do the travel thing that also costs thousands of dollars. It's become egregious. It has really become. And again, I will never understand. This is about as bad as it can get. But we always were in an uproar where, look at college athletes. They deserve to be paid because look at the mega TV deals. How is it any different than Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy Sports and Outdoors, capitalizing on youth sports, knowing daggum well that no bat should be $500, knowing daggum well that a bag should not be $125. Like, come on, DJ. They should be ashamed of themselves, but they know people are going to buy it. They need it, and it's a capitalistic market. They can do whatever they want with the prices. But I wish more people would be in an uproar about that than they would be about this NIL with players getting paid. Look what's happening with the youth sports and how egregious and the money grab that is, which is kind of taken away from the experience that kids should get when playing these sports. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because it's been firing me up.
Absolutely right. Hey, man, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to have the voice of the Columbus Clingstones. Jack Johnson will be here. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-931-3030. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-931-3030. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-931-3030.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
Lori's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings.
Celebrate the Memorial Day holiday with big savings going on now at Gorey's Furniture Express. Be sure to check out all the hot deals throughout the store that are just too big to miss. Patio sets, mattresses, living room sets galore, plus store-wide savings up to 70% off. And that's only at Gorey's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Hey there, fellow travelers. It's me, the Hotel Whiz. Before you go anywhere, call me day or night for hotel rates too low to publish. I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000 hotels across the globe. You see, I've already done the research, so you don't have to spend time online trying to find the best deal. That's up to 75% off. Just call me, the Hotel Whiz. It's a free call, and you get instant access to rates too low to publish with no cancellation fees.
Make a free call now and save up to 75% off your hotel rooms the next time you're going somewhere for business or pleasure. Call the Hotel Whiz now and get instant access to rates too low to publish.
800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. 800-710-3739. Call the Hotel Whiz right now at 800-710-3739.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer. Happy Hump Day, everybody. We're
Yes,
halfway
sir.
there. Look, it's all downhill from here. Big shout out to, of course, a couple of individuals with the Muskogee County School District, one in particular that was with the kid. Oh, that's Coach Pierre Coffey. He was the athletic director and head football coach of the Carver Tigers. He has stepped down, will become the principal at Stewart County High School down in Stewart County. And, of course, Jeff Battles, he's going to be walking away from his athletic career after many, many years as the head, actually the athletic director. And, of course, he was a coach, longtime coach in the system. He will now be over in construction.
Yeah, director of construction.
Yes,
DJ.
yes. So Jeff is going to moving on up. That tax bracket is getting larger.
Yeah, it is, man. I can't wait to see who's going to be taking over him, but he has done a fantastic job in his tenure.
Absolutely. Speaking of tax bracket, this guy here has to be probably one of the highest paid guys in minor league baseball as far as the front office.
Rich is all get out.
Gracious,
We need some money, man.
He is the voice of the Columbus Clingstone. He's our friend, of course, Jack Johnson. Jack, welcome and good morning to the Sports Visions Morning Show. How are you?
I'm good, DJ Thrift. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys. Yeah. It feels great here to be a 1%er. So.
Yeah. Hey, man, you're looking good. You're looking energized. It sounds like, you got your sea legs now. You're good. You feel you've navigated. You've been around the conference, or at least the region. You've been in the city long enough to know how to get back and forth from the house. And again, just it's a good feeling. It look like you're in a good place.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I could probably speak for most of us getting through the first month and a half. While certainly very exciting, also very busy for the front office staff, and it's part of any new project, right? Like I imagine launching Sports Visions was as well. Any new project, any new endeavor is going to come with a lot of uncertainty. It's going to come with a lot of unforeseen challenges, challenges that you were expecting anyways that were difficult. But I think there's few greater feelings of satisfaction in life than getting past those hurdles at the very beginning. And I think, what we've been able to accomplish in putting on the type of events that we have so far in Columbus. I mean, we drew over 4,000 last night for a Tuesday night game.
Wow.
Again,
that's incredible.
That's very good. If you look at the landscape of minor league baseball. So, I think all of us kind of feel pretty settled in. I've gotten to see, like you said, I've gotten to see a lot of the Southern League over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. And so, just kind of the rhythm of the season, inevitably you lock into that anyways. And so I'd say, it's always peaks and valleys. It's a long season for sure. Just like with baseball, the team, since I'm with them every day, there are days where you have a lot of energy. There are days where you don't have a lot of energy, but that was the same thing for you in your playing career, right, DJ? You still got to go up and perform.
Yes.
And so learning how to perform on those days, I think, is a great skill as well. So, it's easy to get energized though when you have a walk-off victory to start the series. And last night was an exciting one for sure.
Absolutely. I'm glad you went there because, again, as I like to do on the Sports Visions Morning Show, have these teaching moments. And before we get into the heavy lifting of course, sharing all the great information about the team, your mindset as you broadcast these games. And, again, I had a good friend of mine to compliment us the other day. Said, man, I love listening to you in the morning. How do you get so much energy? You have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. You're on the air at 6 o'clock. I said, look, when you love what you do, and when you're excited and you have a responsibility, not only to yourself, but to your community, it's that for me anyway, and again, I'll give you the opportunity to answer as well. But, I'm an old quarterback as well. I'm used to going in the huddle and controlling the morale or having something to do with the morale and the excitement of your football team, and knowing that even if you're up against the odds, somebody's got to be responsible for, at least, that leadership role and saying, hey, let's go do this. Let's get it. So, my responsibility as I host this morning show is to, first of all, you have to start out the morning with a great frame of mind. I mean, it's easy to come in here. No, but who wants to listen to that? You got a responsibility, or we have a responsibility to get the day started, to help people get their day started. So, again, if you don't like your job, quit. Or better still, take 2 weeks off and then quit.
Yeah. Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I know that one.
For you,
I think, listen, I'll say this. I think, one, that's a great mindset to have. That's a mindset that I try to replicate. I don't think I'm as successful at it in the morning hours as you are. My time of day is more from the 7:05 p.m. to the 10:05 p.m. range. But I will say this, well, I'll say two things, actually. I'll say first, I mean, as far as the morning show, I grew up with the morning show in the Bay Area. Like, I went from very asleep to ready for school kind of in the time frame of the morning show. So I think it's invaluable to have that kind of connectivity. I don't think people kind of realize it, but when they look back, 5-10 years in the past, they'll kind of just hear it playing in their mind. It just accompanied them on their life. And so it's the same thing for minor league baseball, at least from the broadcast seat. Is I mean, it's not the World Series. It's not like we have 15.5 million people tuning in, but I think I almost kind of feel a greater burden of responsibility because the people I'm broadcasting to that I know are friends and family. They're luminaries in this community. They are players, friends and family, which I think it's not that they aren't watching when they're at the big league level, but it's a little bit different because the conversation level is I feel like a little more intimate, even though you're not speaking directly to them. There are a few of them that actually have my phone number and will text me during the broadcast. And I enjoy it. I enjoy getting to know the players. Like I said at the very beginning of the season, I feel like my job is just a conduit from this community to this team. And if I'm accomplishing that and feeling like I'm delivering the stories of the players to the community so that they can feel like they know them a little bit better and that they can relate to these guys a little bit more when they go see them at the ballpark, and they may have something when they meet them. It could be a meet and greet, could be after the game, could be before the game. Hey, I heard this thing, I'm also from there, or, I also did this thing, and that starts a conversation because we have like I've said all year, we have a clubhouse full of very genuine people. And if we even get 2 or 3 stories like that out of the year where someone out of the crowd feels a little bit more connected to one of the players, I feel like I've done my job then.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, with regards to, the baseball matters as it pertains to the Clingstone, I know that Ethan Workinger had one hell of a month or 3 weeks or however long. What's the latest on the Southern League Player of the Month or the week? Is there anything, any reports out there with of anybody that's won that in the last couple of weeks? Because I know that if he didn't, I know he won it weekly award. But what's the latest on that?
Yeah, so the what's fortunate is that it's an 8-team league, so we're gonna see fantastic players basically week in and week out. So Workinger won for the end of April, beginning of May.
Okay.
And Thrift was on the call, man, for that highlight Thursday game with the 3 homers and the grand slam and the 8 RBIs. So that was awesome. So he won for that week. The next week, Will Simpson, who is the first baseman for the Montgomery Biscuits, who are in town this week, he won. Now, the player of the month was Cooper Kinney for the month of April. And then this past week, the Southern League Player of the Week, unfortunately, for the Clingstones was Corey Joyce, who played for the Smokies. And you know, I got to be honest. I mean, he tore us up. I think he hit like 500 over the course of the series that we just, we couldn't get him out. Yeah, I think it's amazing. You see so many of these guys and you realize these guys truly are just a step away from the major leagues. And I'll put where we are in the calendar, DJ and Thrift. I just want to put some perspective here. These guys may be playing at Synovus Park right now. But for example, Drake Baldwin was not called up to AAA until June of last year, right? Finished the season with Gwinnett and then made the Braves opening day roster and has turned into one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
And at this point last year, he was playing probably in a May series against the Montgomery Biscuits. So it can happen that fast. And I think that's the really exciting part, is looking at these guys and knowing, could be in the very near future, a big league team is going to be very happy to write this guy in the lineup.
I have to ask this question, Jack, because there are Clingstones fans and putting out a lot of information right now. And I don't even know if you know it as well, but the Ronald Acuna rumor that's coming around that he potentially could be playing in a Clingstones uniform this week, with the Braves being on the road, the Gwinnett team being on the road. Can you kind of put any truth or anything to this rumor that you know of so far? For I know the Clingstones fans are just eager to know if Acuna could make an appearance in the uniform.
Yeah, I certainly am as well. I don't know anything, and I'm being honest. 100% honest. In fact, I went a step further for everyone. When I sat down, with Cody Gabella last week, I asked him. I said, "Hey, I gotta ask you this." In our interview, I said, "Do you know anything about Ronald Acuna coming to Columbus?" He said, "I don't. If I did, I'd let you know." And then after the interview, I said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah, no, I still don't." So he's going to get the information around the time that I would as well, maybe a few hours before. These things happen very fast. These decisions get made at the top, and I will say, moving the Braves AA affiliate back inside the state of Georgia has opened up the possibility for this. But if it's not Acuna, it will be someone down the road, to say the least. I think Major League rehabs will certainly be in play this year and going forward. So whether or not Acuna dons a Clingstones jersey, I don't think is just a swing and a miss forever. I think that there's going to be a lot of terrific players that grace this field.
Good deal. Jack Johnson is our guest on the Sportsvisions morning show here this morning. Jack, as you settle in, of course, game 2 tonight. Again, set the table with regards to the lineup in the game tonight.
Yeah, he is going to be going for the Clingstones tonight. He's 3-0. He's got a 0.98 ERA. That's pretty good. Thrift, you and I were talking about him. I mean, I think his most impressive appearance, even though he's had back-to-back starts of 7 scoreless innings, which is really impressive in today's baseball. I thought his most impressive game of the year was actually when you were there, when he fired 6 scoreless innings against Biloxi. I thought that was just spectacular.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you, man. And honestly, it's funny because I literally was just going to ask you about Ian. I just looked up his stats. I saw the 0.98 ERA because this guy, I think, has really been an MVP. I know we talk about Workinger, but he has been one of the most consistent pitchers on the mound. So when I want you to set the stage for everybody out there, especially if they like great pitching, defensive baseball. You're going to see a gem from him because I don't think I've seen one game this year in which he has not gone at least 6 or 7 and kept the Clingstones within striking distance or maintaining a lead. So kind of explain to everyone. I know everybody wants to see Workinger. They want to see the home runs, Quintero hitting the game-winning hits. But Mejia, I'm telling you, he's a sight to see as well on the mound.
He is, and I think you hit the nail on the head there because that's exactly what Cody Gabella said yesterday when I talked to him, is that every time he goes out there, he's going to give Columbus a chance to win the game. It's like if you go to the golf course and you have a good day driving the golf ball. You know, you may not have anything else working for you, but if you're in the middle of the fairway on every hole, you've given yourself a chance, right? And so yeah, he's been exceptional. He's also an exceptional person, and a guy of many talents. I'm sure people that listen to the broadcast are tired of hearing about it, but he's also the team barber. And he did cut my hair last Saturday.
Oh, did he?
It worked out.
Let him
No,
do
it worked out great. I mean, his hair looks fine. Yeah.
All right.
So this is the Ian Mejia special. And yeah, just in the bathroom at Knoxville Smokies Ballpark, Covenant Health Park, like an hour and a half before the game. And I said, it's just getting too long. Can you help me out? And he has clippers. He even has the thing, like the apron thing. He even has that. It was a professional job.
Yeah, exactly.
Being serious. And so, I can make some like pun that he's shaving his ERA, blah, blah, blah. But I won't. He's exceptional though. He commands all his pitches. Again, he's not going to throw super hard, but I think it really speaks to a guy that can throw strikes exactly in the zone that he's looking to throw it. And he's a pitcher that when he misses, I think he's missing by this much. And the margins get thinner the more you move up, but I think he's turned himself into a strong candidate to move up to AAA. Which is unfortunate for us. But, as long as he's here, he's on a 30 and 2/3 inning scoreless stretch. He'll be exciting to watch every time he gets the ball. The rest of the lineup, we haven't gotten the lineup just yet. So, but I imagine it would be some extension of Cal Conley, Ethan Workinger, David McCabe, Drew Compton, who's been on a tear in May. McCabe had an RBI last night, had a double. Kevin Kilpatrick Jr., he's from College Park, went to Stone Mountain High School, and he was electric last night. He scored the first run with an RBI, scored the next run of the game on a wild pitch. He's an exceptional human being. And he started to get going a little bit at the last 2 weeks. And I think if you get that kind of production with his speed, because he also had a stolen base last night, he's 8 for 8 this year. That really raises the level of performance at the bottom of the order, and that makes them even more dangerous.
Well, Jack, we certainly appreciate you here on, of course, this Hump Day. Of course, it's also Wet Nose Wednesday at the ballpark.
There we go.
Look forward to hearing you on the call a little bit later, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
All right, you take care.
Thanks, Jay.
That's Jack Johnson.
Can't wait to hear him on the call. He's going to have a great one here tonight. I'm telling you, Ian Mejia, I have made mention. He's my favorite player. I know everybody loves Workinger, in which I do too. He helped me get that Bauer video out, me calling those home runs. Yeah. But Mejia has been a consistent, especially at this level in minor league. I haven't seen someone more consistent in my years of watching minor league baseball, nowhere near what Jack has. But at 3-0, not even giving up a 1 ERA, 0.98, and had back-to-back scoreless games. it's really hard to do in Major League Baseball, man.
Yes, indeed. I tell you, we're going to stay right here, as I was going to go to have our final break of the day. But you know what? We just had a great opportunity to just share some love in sports. And again, once again, thank you to Anthony Merritt. He is, of course, the what do you call it? The sportscaster?
Yeah, the commentator's commentator.
The commentator. I tell you, man. And of course, between he and Coach, Coach Flowers, man, with that, what's Coach Flowers' little
He's
nickname?
a coach's coach.
Coach's coach.
Or,
Go,
no, Terrence Flowers.
Terrence,
yeah. Terrence is the GOAT coach. The GOAT. I don't even want to butcher it, but he does it so good. He says it so fast. That's a tongue twister for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. But we appreciate all the folks that definitely contributed today. And again, getting that update from Jack, as we always do. We appreciate that. But again, this weekend is not coming soon enough. I know that you got your work cut out for you with regards to all the assignments that you have. But you know what? It's nothing like being a young man on top of your game in this business and having something to do, because it could be the other side. You could be on the other side.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah. You got NAIA World Series downtown. You got the Clingstones going on. I got Brookstone High School Playoff Baseball on Friday. If they win that, they'll be playing in Synovus Park next week in the GIAA. And then we got, obviously, the GIAA Soccer State Championships as well. So busy upcoming next 7-8 days. Going to get through it. Going to have a lot of fun doing it. And then when June gets here, time to reflect and think about what's going to happen for next year.
If you're just joining us and missed the broadcast a little bit earlier, that the fact of the matter is that Carver High School's former athletic director and head coach, Pierre Coffey, is not going to be at Carver anymore. He's to step down, and he's taking on a new responsibility in leadership. He's the new principal at, of course, down at what's the name of the high school?
Stewart County
High School. Again, just that name slips me. And again, I'm just going to have to get used to saying that now, just like I'm going to have to get used to saying the new athletic director and head coach, whoever that may be at Carver High School. And boy, the rumors are flying around about all the possibilities.
Yeah, a lot of great possibilities. A lot of people that would bring a big-time splash in the hiring process. And I feel like this is going to be a coveted job because you're stepping into an opportunity to go back-to-back, and with a plethora of talent. I would feel like a lot of people would want that opportunity to go and coach at the Carver.
Well, I wish Chris Lindsay the best of luck. He and the administrative staff and the team that's going to put together and make the call on who the head coach will be eventually, because it's not just about how many X's and O's you know. It's about the culture. You have to be the right fit up on that hill because it's so unique. And again, the kids, my heart pours out for them because I know how much they loved Coach Coffey. And again, a new coach, it's inevitable. They know they have to have one, but more importantly, these guys are stacked to win again. And I hope that new person comes in. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a person that was already on the staff, because again, because of the talent that they had currently under the leadership of Coach Coffey. But again, it's a who's list out there, and I'm not at liberty to put it out there because I don't want to add to already a much anticipated coaching search.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. And then same thing, we're gonna have to have a new citywide athletic director now with Jeff moving on to director of construction, Jeff Battle. So I can't wait to see all the pieces start falling in place, DJ.
Now, word on the street, somebody told me that you applied for that job. You want to be the AD here in Muskogee County?
I love you, Jeff.
I know Jeff will probably give you a good recommendation.
No chance. That's a lot of responsibility, but I know a lot of good names that would be great at that job, but it won't be Alan Thrift Barringer. I promise you that.
Absolutely. Also, big shout out once again to our guy, Dale McGee. Coach McGee was in town, hung out with us here at the morning show yesterday before we were able to go out into the community and shake some hands and kiss some babies and ask for some support because, again, he's one of our own. And as we said earlier, Thrift, you know what? This guy's going to be in it for the long haul. And who's to say he could be the next coach at Auburn, at Georgia, at Alabama. You never know where they end up. That's the good thing about, again, holding on and taking care of your own, because as they grow and as they blossom, you know what? They have a good, sound foundation of people that love them.
Exactly. And you need to support them now when they're on the way up, not when they get there, because that just doesn't make any sense. But I know for most people, it's hard to maybe comprehend that. So support now. He's asking for this community to rally behind him. He's asking for his hometown to be the supporter that helps rejuvenize and get his program where he wants it Let's answer the call. Let's help Delt McGee.
To break it down even more, he wants you to go ahead and on those football Saturdays that you're planning for in the fall, plan on making a stop at Center Park Stadium and buying a couple of tickets because, again, it matters. Also, the fact of the matter is that, he has a camp, a youth camp. If you got some plans for your kid to go to camp, June the 8th is one of the first sessions. I think June the 16th. But go on the Georgia State Athletics, more importantly, the Georgia State football site to get all the dates and all the details of how you can sign up. If not, if you don't feel like doing that, call me 706-681-1136 and I'll be able to help you navigate and get your kids signed up for the camp. $40, only $40. And again, it's all supporting the athletic program, that more importantly the football program at Georgia State University.
And there's an AM and a PM session, 8 and 11:30 on June the 9th, and then 5 and 8 p.m. at night. And the same thing the 16th, 8 to 11:30 in the AM, and then 5 to 8 in the PM.
Yes, indeed. It's Hump Day, and it's already over. Hey, another edition of the Sports Visions morning show in the books. You hear the music, you know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions morning show. On behalf of Thrift Barringer, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I need you in the morning, but I need you now. Yeah.
You've been listening to the Sports Visions morning show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is Sports Visions 92.1.